Internet. Upgrade to 100% in-home fiber from i3 Broadband. Plus, we're springing forward with our longest price guarantees ever on gig speed internet services. No data caps, just pure speed. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, hit it.
Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show.
You know who it is.
Also, if you didn't know, this is called The Show.
Yeah. On 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Oh, God. What I mean, I would love to be able to. I know I can't. But why would you do this to me right before we start the show?
Because
Amy likes to throw these bombs right.
Our other producer,
Okay, now go.
Frank was in the studio, and I didn't want to say it while he was in there.
Oh.
So I had to wait for him to leave.
Amy said something very private, and now we can't. And then she said, by the way, this is a private thing. Okay, it's show starting now. Sorry, that's an inside thing that you don't get to hear about.
Well, you weren't supposed to bring it up.
Well, this is your fault. It is the Chris and Amy Show. Just here's all you need to know if you're listening to this show right now. The only information you need is we're having fun. We're having a great time already, and it's not even 9:30. 314-436-7900. Feel free to visit with us, and you can also leave us voice messages from the Odyssey app where you listen to the show live. Our podcasts, so you miss anything, you miss an interview or a segment, you want to go back and hear it, you can go back and do that on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. And we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter if you want to watch us. We are at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top 3 stories everyone will be talking about.
Well, this is what everybody's talking about. We've got our old friend Charlie Brennan coming in studio today. And, Charlie, he is very big on picking up the trash here in St. Louis. And we're going to talk to him about that. Also, Donnie Bash is coming up.
Oh, very exciting.
So we will speak to Charles a little bit later on, 11 o'clock, in fact.
And Sam Altman, maybe you've heard of him, founder of OpenAI and ChatGPT, also from St. Louis. His home in San Francisco was attacked twice over the weekend, and we will discuss, are we seeing a rise in violence here for controversial public figures?
And last night, the Cardinals lost the first game of the series to the visiting Guardians, and the pitching struggled. The offense struggled. Blues also won against the Wild. And my Lord, as I mentioned, the Cardinals here, he's done it again.
Jordan Walker hits it deep to left field. It's going to go. A home run. On the first pitch, Gavin Williams throws in the 6th inning. Walker has just hit his 8th home run. That was a rocket out of here.
Well, holy mackerel. Jordan Walker has done it again. The guy's hit another home run. He's got 8, so he's leading the majors right now. And I feel like when we've talked about, Cardinals on Gas House Gang, the show that happens at 12 o'clock. By the way, it's Ollie Day. Yeah, so Ollie Marmol joins us at 12.
That's appointment radio for everyone in St. Louis.
So that happens at 12 o'clock. But it feels like anytime we talk about the Cardinals, we're talking about him and what he's doing at the beginning of the season. And yes, I recognize that it is still very, very early. But it doesn't matter, at least from this perspective. He's just, I can't believe he's doing it in the way he's doing it. I can't believe, I'm not surprised that he's having a good start. I am surprised that it's looked as good as it has and that he's leading the major leagues in home runs almost 3 weeks into the season. 8 is a lot. It's April 14th.
2 more than Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
2 more than Kyle Schwarber.
And Yordan Alvarez.
Yep.
And I expect that number to change. I think these guys are going to catch up with him. I don't think Walker is going to hit the most home runs in baseball this year. And that's okay, because the point is we want to see him make some progress, because the Cardinals are trying to decide what their team is going to look like moving forward. It's one of the top 2 youngest teams in baseball. It's either them or Washington. I can't remember which. I've seen 2 different averages. So they are one of the youngest teams in baseball. We know they're going through a regrowth kind of period here. So wouldn't it be nice? And we were at the game last night. We had our employee appreciation night
Oh,
at the ballpark last night.
was I invited?
Yes, you were invited. You just don't check your emails. So we had this employee appreciation night last night. And that was one of the conversations I was having, sitting down, watching the game, that it would be nice for the Cardinals, who right now don't have one, to find a cornerstone player, because any good baseball team has a cornerstone player. Some teams have better cornerstone players than others. Some have multiple cornerstone players. But right now, the Cardinals don't have one. And if Walker emerges as one of those in this season in which he's going to turn 24, and they feel like they can count on him moving forward, that's huge. That's huge for them, because that's been one thing missing for a while. Yes, they had Paul Goldschmidt for a while, and they had Nolan Arenado, and for a short time period, those two guys were MVP caliber together. But that's gone. And Arenado has not been the same. And Goldschmidt, when he was here, was not quite the same toward the end either. There was a decline in the quality of play you were getting from them. So it's been a bit since the Cardinals have had an Albert or a Yachty. And so it would really be nice to establish a cornerstone player now, somebody that you can anchor your team around. And I'm not saying this is going to happen for Walker, but if it does happen, it would not be a major surprise, because it wasn't that long ago he was their best prospect.
So I have a question that I can't tell how stupid it is. I know there is a layer of stupid probably within it. But when you look at the size of Aaron Judge, and Aaron Judge looks like an AI baseball player.
Yeah.
He's 6'7". He's muscular. And if you were to make an AI baseball player and stick him in Major League Baseball, he would look like Aaron Judge. And you would think, well, that's not real. Nobody looks like that. Jordan Walker, 6'6". He's a big guy. When you have guys that are talented and can make contact, how much of a difference does their size matter, where it's Jordan Walker doesn't have to muscle a baseball out of the ballpark? Or maybe he does. Or is it that his size is going to go a long way in helping him to hit more home runs?
He's already got a lot of strength. His bat speed is as good as anybody's bat speed in the league. And that's not just me saying that by watching with my eyes. It's measured. They can measure what his bat speed is. And I don't know if there's anybody in baseball right now, maybe a couple. He's in the 100th percentile. Let's just put it that way, which means he is at the top of the top. So he's already got that. And I think if he learns to not be too aggressive and just take his regular swing, he's going to hit home runs. And he hits a lot of those line drive home runs, like the one last night that went into the bullpen. If physically he's got everything you need, as you said.
And I think that's my question then.
So it's just about approach.
How much of a success like an Aaron Judge and a Jordan Walker is physical?
Well,
meaning that their stature.
I mean, I don't know. That's tough to say. He's strong. It's just a matter of figuring out what to do with your strength and how to stay within yourself and not get too aggressive, because that's when he tends to get into troubles, when he's too aggressive and he's chasing pitches that are too far away from him that he can't hit. Right?
Yeah.
So I would say this: every player in baseball physically is gifted enough to hit a lot of home runs, probably. But they just, I shouldn't say every, but most of them are physically gifted enough to be able to do that. It's just a matter of approach and stuff like that.
So it has been a lot of fun watching Jordan Walker. And as we mentioned, today is Tuesday, which means it's Ollie Day on the Gas House Gang.
Yeah, certainly we'll talk about it.
A good half hour.
And we got other things to talk about, too, because it's not all good with the Cardinals.
Yeah. But I did want to point this out, because it's not all good with the Blues either, since they've been eliminated from the playoffs. But you know what is good? The fan attendance. The Blues had another sellout last night. I think tonight is a sellout, or they're expecting it to be the last home game of the season. The Blues were already eliminated from the playoffs this weekend. And yet last night I was at that game. I thought, this crowd is full. all the seats are filled, and people at the end of the game were chanting, "Let's go Blues." And I was contrasting that with what you saw at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit with the Red Wings, who have now missed the playoffs for 10 consecutive seasons. And by the way, the Red Wings were in first place in the Eastern Conference at the end of January. So they had a precipitous fall to fall out of the playoffs, but their fans were booing them off the ice. And I went back to 2024 because the Blues haven't made it to the playoffs. They've missed the playoffs 3 of the last 4 years, including 2024 when they sold out almost every game. Does this kind of surprise you or impress you? It kind of does. I know Blues fans. I know Blues fans are loyal. I am one, but I'm still impressed seeing a team that has missed the playoffs 3 of the last 4 years sell out Enterprise Center, see the fans chanting, "Let's go Blues." Like I could almost see them excited for the future with the young guys like a Lindstein and a Stenberg and a Broberg and Snuggerud and Dvorsky and all these young guys. It's like the crowd was already excited for next year.
Well, it could be a number of things. It could be it's just the market. It could be that it's the nature of there only being 41 home games a year, that a lot of those tickets were sold. You mentioned the Red Wings, who haven't been particularly good for a while. They're still top 4 in attendance.
Yeah.
The Florida Panthers, they are top 3 in attendance,
but they've been to the Stanley Cup final,
right? But they've been eliminated from the playoffs this year, so they're not going. The Blackhawks, they still have really great attendance. I think they're top. Let me see, 1, 2, 3. They're like top 7.
Which makes sense, though, too. And I do kind of look at like Detroit as hockey town, right? And Chicago's a big city.
Well, let me say this about the Blackhawks. When I first moved up there in 2002, they got nobody in that building. It was so easy to get a ticket. It was like 3,000 people, it felt like. And I mean, there were just so many empty seats. And there were a number of different reasons. They were really bad the team was bad. They were bad at marketing. Their home games weren't on TV. So there was just no excitement. But I'm not exactly sure why the Blues have all the attendance. It could be that they have, there was so much promise at the end of last year that people bought tickets ahead of time, and there aren't that many games to fill. It's not like a baseball game where a baseball stadium where there are 81 home dates. So it's tough to fill a 40,000 seat stadium every single night. It could be a number of those factors. I'm curious. I hope we don't ever find out. But if the Blues are like the Red Wings bad for 10 straight years, I would be curious to see what the attendance would be then.
My guess would be it would drop. It would have to drop. Yeah. It's expensive. But I also don't expect and really hope the Blues, do not.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do that
be bad
either.
For 10 years because I am actually very excited. I was talking to Chris Kerber about this with the Blues and what do they need? And I said, well, they need a superstar. They don't have a Nathan McKinnon. They don't have a Connor McDavid. They don't have a Cale Makar. And I understand that. But he said, we don't know how good Jimmy Snuggerud will be. We don't know how good Justin Carbonneau will be. He's in the system right now, but might jump up into the NHL next year. Yeah. So there's hope. And I think hope goes a long way for fans.
Today on the show, we are going to talk to Chef Trenton Garvey, who is the winner of Hell's Kitchen Young Guns, also from Union, Missouri. He is going to be with us. Dave Simons. We'll talk a lot with him. In fact, tax day is tomorrow. So we'll see if Dave Simons has any tips for you if you're one of those late filers. I don't know any of those people. Tom Hamilton, Hall of Fame broadcaster. He's with the Cleveland Guardians. He will join the show at 10:30. And as we mentioned, Charlie is with us at 11 o'clock. The Chris and Amy show until noon today. And then it is Ollie Day on the Gas House Gang on KMOX.
You voted, we listened. On Friday, April 24th, the Cardinals take on the Seattle Mariners, and Busch Stadium is going dark. That night, you will receive the all-new Cardinals jersey, Dark Mode, presented by Phillips 66. This fan-selected look was brought to life for the ballpark and designed to stand out in the stands. A limited giveaway you can only get at the game. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Victor Scott II. Get your tickets now at Cardinals.com.
The weekend starts here. Grab your crew and kick it off at Friday Night Live at Busch Stadium. Every Friday night home game, Budweiser Terrace turns into the hottest happy hour in the Lou with $5 beers, $5 hot dogs, $7 margaritas, live music, and more all game long. Meet up with friends, soak in the energy, and keep the night going with baseball under the lights. Good vibes, great deals, your new Friday tradition. Get tickets now at Cardinals.com.
The NFL offseason is here, but the action never stops. The draft is right around the corner, and Heed the Call NFL podcast with Dan Hanzus and Mark Sessler is your pro football destination. Prospects, team needs, and pick-by-pick coverage of draft weekend.
Heed the Call covers all things NFL, and we have fun. No fake hot takes or boring data dumps here. Just entertaining football talk from your favorite buds at the bar.
So come hang out with the Heed the Call heroes for football news, analysis, and mirth. All the mirth. Follow and listen to the Heed the Call NFL podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathy Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424.
Come celebrate our Customer Appreciation Days, April 24th and 25th, and save up to 10 to 20% on trees, shrubs, annuals, tropicals, perennials, houseplants, and more. KMOX will be live on Saturday. Visit www.chesterfieldvalleynursery.com for more details.
Soar with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra in Rachmaninoff's Third. Taking Flight. Assistant conductor Samuel Hollister and pianist Gabriela Montero make their SLSO classical subscription debut in Prokofiev's thrilling Third Piano Concerto. Enjoy Gabriela Smith's sky-inspired Tumblebird Contrails, Rachmaninoff's Third Symphony, April 24th and 25th at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
You know what we don't have in this room? A bunch of scofflaws.
Oh, scofflaws.
We have 0 scofflaws in this room.
What does that mean?
Means I've done my taxes. Matt has done his taxes.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Isn't scofflaw, doesn't that deal with vehicle stuff? I don't think you're
car specific.
I thought so. Like if you're parking illegally or you don't have your tags
it's a person who flouts the law, especially by failing to comply with a law that is difficult to enforce effectively.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why
I thought it was automotive.
I know, that's what I thought.
That's adorable.
Okay.
You're not a scofflaw unless it involves a car.
That's what I thought. I thought it had something to do with parking illegally.
That's the main time that you've been called a scofflaw.
I think that's exactly right.
Primarily with your automotive crimes.
Yeah. Like when I didn't have my sticker
Yeah.
on the back of my car, my tag
Yeah.
on my license plate. I didn't know it.
You were a
It's been that way
scofflaw.
for months.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't think you're a scofflaw yet because the date's tomorrow.
It is tomorrow.
So I don't know what you're talking about. Don't make me nervous like that.
But have you done your taxes?
I have not. I have a man who does my taxes.
Yes.
And we were at the game last night and was sitting next to Pajeski, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I was just telling everybody around me, we were talking about taxes, and I go, I gave my stuff to my guy about a week and a half ago because he was urgent. He said, get it to me by the end of the weekend. And that was before the weekend. And that was 2 weekends ago. And I did it and I hadn't heard a damn thing. And then he texted out of nowhere last night asking me for more information. So I think we're good. I think he'll have it done by today. So that's the good news.
We don't know, though.
We don't know for sure. I might be a scofflaw by Thursday. So if you don't have your taxes mailed or filed or postmarked by the end of tomorrow, then you are a scofflaw.
Or an extension. Hey, and this is a PSA for tax people who maybe struggle with their taxes. I learned 2 years ago, you can only file for one extension. I thought you could keep filing extensions because I asked for an extension and I got one. I paid for it.
Yeah.
And then I told my tax lady, can I get another extension? And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I just want to pay another, $75. I need another extension. She said, you don't get multiple extensions. It's just one.
Just one in your whole life?
Well, no, just one a year.
In 1 year. Okay.
Did you know that?
No, I've never tried to file an extension.
Really?
I always get mine in.
Well, last year was the first year that I didn't file an extension.
Yeah.
And this year I did my taxes, and guess who is getting a refund? Me. That's the guess.
So here's what I want to say.
Guys, you don't understand how big this is. And guess, I'm 42 years old. Guess who didn't cry
Oh my God.
during tax season for the first time in her life?
Oh, congratulations.
Me.
Here's
I did bring all my stuff, though, in a really torn up, like, old shopping bag that's like kind of like ripped and it looks crinkled because it's been in the car or whatever.
I'd bring my stuff in a paper bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would do too.
But it's a handled paper bag. Like sometimes it's a Gap bag.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I don't understand taxes. I don't understand how they work. I don't understand how you can have the same job as somebody else and they owe money at the end of the year and you don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's I mean, if I go back and I look at my salaries over the last 10 years,
yes,
and then whether or not I paid taxes at the end of the year, I will find no pattern whatsoever.
No, I even asked my tax lady. I'm like, is this because I made less than I thought we would? She's like, basically. I don't know. I feel like she was brushing me off. Like, I don't have time to waste with this idiot. And I thought, should I be glad that I made less, or did I make less? I don't know. And I know everyone listening to this is mad because they're thinking right now, how did these two idiots get a show on KMOX? That's what I'm thinking right now.
I wouldn't be thinking that at all.
Really?
Yeah, because taxes are complicated, and I think they are intentionally complicated. Like I said yesterday, they should just be done for you. Our government is big enough that we could just have everybody's taxes at the end of the year. They say, okay, we know how much you've made. We've seen all of everything that's been submitted.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you owe us. And you go, okay, great. Here's a check. Or you can dispute it. You can say, actually, because of this, and this, I don't think I owe that much.
Yeah.
Why can't that be done? Why does it? And well, I'll tell you why it's done. And we had a texter yesterday who chimed in on it, but we didn't get to the text message. And he's accurate that you've got companies that make money on doing people's taxes and they lobby against it.
Yeah,
they don't want there to be
that.
laws.
Yeah, I did read that as well. Not just that text, but I've read reports on that.
Yeah.
There's always a lobby. There's always a lobby for something.
There are businesses that rely on you having to go to them to get your taxes done.
You know what I found out? St. Louis County, I don't think they tell you that you owe your property taxes, your personal property taxes. I think you just have to go find it.
You just have to know what it is.
Well, you have to know that you owe it every year. There's no card
Or a notice?
Or notice that's like, hey, you owe us.
Frank says there is.
I didn't get one.
Yeah.
I missed mine completely. So then I had to go back and pay 2 years
You missed your
of it.
invite on the employee appreciation night at the ballpark last night, too.
In retrospect, this might be a me problem.
Definitely a you problem. It is the Chris and Amy show on 104.1 FM KMOX. Go to our Twitter account at Chris Amy KMOX because you can vote in our question of the week. And the question is, have you done your taxes yet? Your options are yes, I'm waiting till the last minute, or planning to do tax fraud. And as of right now, 8% of you are planning to do tax fraud.
That's a lot.
That's way too much.
Lower than what I expected for our audience, though.
We'll talk to Chef Trenton Garvey, the winner of Hell's Kitchen Young Guns. He's also from Union, Missouri. That is next on KMOX.
All Access with Ollie Marmol on the Gas House Gang.
You're constantly trying to figure out how to get meaningful information through to the player in a way where they can put it into action. If they can shoot holes in your game or in your information or your delivery, you're done. If you come into those and you're 80% prepared and they can shoot holes in your messaging or in your points that you're trying to make, you lose credibility real quick, and you're not gaining that back anytime soon.
Ollie Marmol, Tuesdays at noon on KMOX.
Turn your tax refund into new countertops at Menards. Make this the year you check that project off the list. Countertops are the center of the home, and we offer stylish options with durability that will last for years. We can transform your everyday spaces into gathering places with custom craft countertops. Check out our kitchen showrooms in-store or visit menards.com and get a free design estimate. Plus, view our weekly flyer for more great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Breezy, sunny, and warm, 76 degrees right now. A high today of 88. Tonight, cloudy, breezy, warm, could see a thunderstorm, a low of 69.
Brought to you by Gravely Zero-Turn Mowers. Your reputation matters. That's why so many landscape professionals choose Gravely. You can save up to 20% on Gravely commercial mowers during the Gravely Mow the Distance sales event going on now through the 19th. Visit your local Gravely dealer today.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Last year, I had back pain radiating down my right leg. The pain was so bad I was willing to cut my leg off to stop the pain. I could barely walk and had to stoop over when I did just to take pressure off the spine. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. In my professional career, I've represented thousands of people who've had herniated discs and issues with their neck and back, but never fully appreciated what they were going through until it was my turn. It's like trying to describe colors to a blind person who's never had sight. All I can tell you is it hurt like hell, but worse. My daily walk was gone, and that bothered me a great deal. Then I thought of all of you and how much more devastating this type of injury could be for you. My life stopped. I now feel your pain. Just know at Morgan & Morgan, we got your back. I understand. Morgan means more.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, and we are discussing esophageal cancer with Dr. Raymond Jen.
Curative, that's a complex decision that involves what we call multidisciplinary care. So that involves a surgeon, a medical oncologist, radiation oncologist. So you need the expertise, and that's something that we have here at Siteman, especially geared for these esophageal cancer patients.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. Visit siteman.washu.edu.
If your retirement plan is mostly what if and a little fingers crossed, you deserve better answers than that. Check out Wealth and Wisdom Saturdays at 7 a.m. here on KMOX. I'm Gary Goldberg. Call 800-966-1690.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com
Oh, I'm ready.
and get ready for the workday.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
Today,
The Cards, the Guardians.
Aaron Total Access 550.
Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Have flown them in. VIP from Las Vegas. So chefs, please give a warm welcome. Young Guns season 20 winner and the head chef at Gordon Ramsay Steak, Trenton, and his wife-to-be, Macy. Come on, give it up. Let's go. So good to see you both.
Man, exciting stuff. And joining us now is Chef Trenton Garvey. He is the winner, as you just heard, of Hell's Kitchen's Young Guns. That was season 20, I believe. He is back at the Blue Duck in Maplewood, Missouri. He is a native of Union, Missouri, still lives here in the St. Louis area. And he's going to have a cooking demo at the Missouri Book Festival on Saturday, April 18th. So you get a chance to see him up close and personal. Trenton, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We were talking off air about some of your adventures in the culinary world that you've had so far.
Wild ride.
Yeah. And we were talking about the Hell's Kitchen specifically, how you won season 20. You worked with Gordon Ramsay, but that now was 7 years ago since you
It's been a
filmed
lifetime.
it. Yeah. So maybe work us up to the Hell's Kitchen. You started in the business and
Yeah,
the age of 18.
So yeah, I mean, I started a KFC, and I was like, man, I think I really like this. You know, humble beginnings, really.
Yeah.
And I was like getting way too into it. My
That's
boss,
awesome.
my bosses were like, you're literally looking up old Colonel videos. And I'm like, no, you're supposed to hold the drumsticks in between each finger and twist it so it gets the flakiest. And that's like, you know, and they're like, you're getting way too into like romanticizing KFC at 17, 18. And yeah, so I was like, man, I think I want to go to culinary school. So then I'm like studying my serve safe, trying to get way too into it. And then I just really like fell in love with it and got an awesome job in culinary school working with Chris and Carmen, the owners of the Blue Duck. And they've let me create and push myself. And, you know, my boss, Jordan Knight at the time, he was the executive chef, and he just kept giving me books. And that's kind of where the Book Fest thing comes in, because my wife's a librarian I just really like love reading books and learning. And that's going in the Hell's Kitchen. That's all I really knew. Is like, I know I like to read. I like to study as much as I can, cooking. And that was really the only worldly perspective I'd had. I felt at that point was from those books I'd been, you know, diving into, and my wife had been bringing home, and my boss had been asking me to read. And that was awesome, you know? So yeah, then after taking over Blue Duck at 22, a few months later, I got the opportunity to do Hell's Kitchen, which was a whirlwind. And then I had to sit on it for 2 years, which was
Meaning you filmed it, but it didn't air for 2 years.
Yeah,
Because of COVID.
Yeah,
Yep.
COVID. I was living in Union, Missouri, and once it came out, everybody, you know, it's a small town, and you know, everybody's very connected. So everybody's like, "What? You're on a TV show?" And the whole time, like, well, he's still here in Union. There's absolutely no way he won. And, you know, amount of people are coming up to me. You know, they're having watch parties at the Legion. They're coming up to me and they're like, "Man, I know you didn't win, but you're still here, but I'm still proud of you." And I'm like, right. You know. But yeah, then moving to Vegas was a whirlwind. Did my year Gordon Ramsay Steak. Got offered to help develop the Bedford by Martha Stewart, and then I became her chef de cuisine. Then my bosses were like, "Hey, do you want to do Guy Fieri's Sports Town or Flavor Town in the Horseshoe?" Which is you think you're in the same casino as Paris, but it's just down the hallway. And then after, I was just working nonstop, and I'm like, you know what? I'm ready to land the ship. I want to go home. I want to see what I can do in St. Louis and just make. I mean, like right now, we just make awesome food that's approachable and affordable, and I really love that aspect of what I do now. So it's exciting to be back.
Well, it's good to have you back, and I know people are, and I've watched a lot of Gordon Ramsay stuff, primarily the Kitchen Nightmares show. I'm fascinated by
on that one.
Yeah, you do not want to be on that one because that means things are not going well, and I think the rate of people who do well after it is pretty low. But and I'm sure you get this question a lot. Is he actually like that, or is he just playing that up?
He is a perfectionist in the kitchen, and he wants that. And what they don't show on TV is how much, because they cannot show how much on TV he is going through, critiquing you, letting you know every little aspect that he strives to create perfection by. And, when you see the Gordon Ramsay freak out, that is somebody messing up several times, And,
Yeah.
And it's just that compiling that gets that, but a guy strives for perfection. And what he does is perfection. I mean, the guy's held 3 Michelin stars for now 20 years, but behind the scenes he's like, I don't know, I was 23 when I did it, so he just felt like such a fatherly person, like immediately like stern, but hey, here's what you need to do. You need to curate your craft. You need to own your own restaurant. None of this means anything if you don't own your own place and stand behind what you do, and just respect the craft. And
well, you hear stories about some of the ultra, the high cooking, really fine dining places. And I'm always wondering if it is a larger percentage than you think of just abuse in the kitchen, that whoever owns the restaurant or the head chef is just a massive jerk to everybody. That can't be that common, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now a lot of that is coming to the light, like with Rene Redzepi and those people that did strive for perfection. They get so caught up in it, and there's a lot of ego in it, and I think the industry right now is really doing leaps and bounds to change. I mean, you look at somebody like Sean Brock, who 10 years ago when he was opening up Audrey in Nashville in June, he wanted to have a therapist on site. He wanted to have mediators there for people to talk to. And I think a lot of people in the industry are investing in moving away from that. But that is a thing with the older restaurants. I mean, you work silently, and when you messed up, you got told you messed up. I had a lot of friends that worked at Robuchon, and they're like, it's very militant. It's or Bouchon, and that's just what's expected of you. But I would say with Gordon, it's so much of what he did is he wanted, there was a level of hazing, but there's also trying to push you for perfection. And really, I came out of it. It was only a month of doing it, but I came out of it. I'm like, my wife's even like, I don't even know who you are anymore.
Wow.
We didn't talk to each other in a month.
Wow.
And the first thing I got when we got back, was I wanted McDonald's,
Yeah.
It's like, I just want simple, I want something simple, right?
Well, and it's so interesting that these types of shows in the restaurant business, maybe this is anecdotal, but it seems like it's blowing up, right? Like people see it and they want to be involved in this business. And I think somehow, I don't know how the public is taking away sexy and exciting when really between Gordon Ramsay or the show The Bear, I feel like the restaurant business is almost anti-marketing, right? It looks so stressful.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like the worst marketing campaign, but people are eating it up. For me, it looks horrible.
And there's a lot to it with being a chef. I mean, right now the restaurant industry is trying to make changes, but a lot of being a chef and working in the industry is, I think it was Anthony Bourdain who said it's like a pirate ship ran by misfits, and a lot of people they fit in there, and they find their home in restaurants. And it is really cool to have that symbiotic, everybody working together, and everybody's coming from different worlds. But right now, the restaurant industry, I do think, is changing quite a bit. And with the bear and everything, and really, I want to say glorifying some of that abuse and everything, but it's really not the good side of it. And, that's part of being in Vegas is I just, was just working all the time.
Yeah.
And, I tell my boss I need time off, and they're like, no, it comes with the territory. And that was just what was expected. Right. And I was like, I think we could do better. And that's why I was like, I want to go back to St. Louis, and I want to watch people grow, but also, be better than this, because this isn't necessarily what I got into this for. Right.
Yeah.
I didn't get into this for getting yelled at because my breadcrumbs are too crummy, or my croutons are not square enough. I did this because I want to cook food for real people that work hard. And it to me, does it make sense to push so hard for that type of perfection if the employees you have can't even afford that experience? It doesn't necessarily translate to me, or, the people that are working hard that really make it happen. I'm just the guy that, comes in and we tweak and we curate, but everybody else is putting in the hard work.
Chef Trenton Garvey is with us here on KMOX, and you'll be doing a cooking demo at the Missouri Book Festival. It's on Saturday. So what can people expect there?
Yeah. So, it's my first time doing this year, so I'm looking forward to seeing how it all plays out. But, I'm going to be making some corn country ham risotto, something we've had on the menu at the Blue Duck, usually a summer dish, but we do like a spicy tomato jam on top. I think I'm going to throw some pan-seared rainbow trout since we're in Missouri and it's just about that season. Me on stage cooking for an hour, and my wife's going to be there, letting me answer people's questions, handing off the mic, and I'm super excited to be doing it with her. She told me yesterday, she's like, I get to be the one, you're sous chef and doing the mic. And, we do all these dinners and stuff. We always work together, and, we love it. We've been together now, 15 years. So we have fun with it.
And so yours starts at 10:45. Is that right? On the main stage?
Yes.
Okay. You'll go from 10:45 and then that's for an hour, and you'll be on the main stage there at the Missouri Book Festival. Do people, do they need tickets? Can they show up? Is it free? How does that work?
I believe it's free.
Okay.
It's free just to show up. Yeah. I'm I'm just really looking forward to getting to show some food to people,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It'd be great. It's good to have you in, man.
Yeah.
It's really nice to meet you. Congratulations on all the
fun,
success.
guys.
I got to get to the Blue Duck. I have not been.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
I've
right
heard.
there in Maplewood.
We do everything from scratch, man. It's buns, ketchup, everything.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming in, Chef Trenton Garvey. It's really nice to meet you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
It's Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
2026, I've been hearing from customers and friends that their utility bills went up quite a bit for their electric bill. That being said, and you're looking at buying a new air conditioner, or you're thinking, hey, I guess let's just get an air conditioner so it helps with the electric bills. If you have an old system, it definitely can help you. But watch your thinking. Just because you are told this is a so-called high-efficient air conditioner, it's not going to save you nowhere near what you think it's going to save you. Just replacing your old equipment is the biggest thing, and make your house efficient. An air conditioner is not going to make your house efficient. That being said, it's a great time to purchase an air conditioner if you get the correct one. Don't overspend. Don't believe the hype. In other words, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Call me, Bart Inman, at 314, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Again, the easiest of numbers, 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com. God bless.
Get ready to laugh out loud, St. Louis. The outrageous Broadway hit Spam-A-Lot is riding into the fabulous Fox Theater May 5th through the 17th. From the twisted minds of Monty Python, this Tony Award-winning musical brings you killer rabbits, dancing knights, and non-stop hilarity. It's the legend of King Arthur like you've never seen it before. More information can be found at KMOX.com/events.
It's deck days at Lowe's, and the savings are stacked.
Right now, pros get 15% off all in-stock composite decking from top brands like Trex, TimberTech, and Decorators. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt tool. The deck's stacked in your favor with brands pros trust. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 4/22 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
All hail Spamalot, the Tony Award-winning best musical comedy that will have you laughing your coconuts off. The Washington Post declares Monty Python's Spamalot is the funniest musical on Broadway. Entertainment Weekly calls it a hilarious fun fest. The Washington Post says it's unfair to laugh this much. Get your tickets now for the musical comedy event of the year, Spamalot, playing the Fabulous Fox May 5th through 17th. Tickets at fabulousfox.com.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Chris Raunchy, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM, KMOX. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
I think I'm turning into a curmudgeon about certain things.
All right.
And I think as overall, Americans need to drink more water. I think we all need more water. We don't need to sit around drinking Gatorade. I only drink Gatorade like on marathon day, like during the marathon and after, because a lot of it's just sugar. You can get electrolytes other ways. You can have electrolyte tablets. Anyway, I've become increasingly curmudgeonly about how little water we drink and how much junk we drink with soda and energy drinks, and everyone's drinking energy drinks. And guess what I heard this morning or read this morning in the Wall Street Journal? McDonald's is going to start selling energy drinks and refreshers and dirty sodas. So they're going to have new beverages like the Red Bull Dragonberry Energizer, Mango Pineapple Refresher, and Dirty Dr. Pepper, because drinks tend to have much higher profit margins than food, and diners are already downsizing their meal portions. So McDonald's said, let's lean into drinks, let's lean into the viral dirty sodas, and of course, everybody has energy drinks with extra caffeinated beverages. Their refreshers have extra caffeine in them. Remember, Bread Company or Panera already got in trouble for their energy drinks that had so much caffeine that, I don't know, somebody died or something. Remember, they had to pull back on their energy drinks? I think we need sleep and water. We don't need more energy drinks and caffeine. They're so bad for you. They're so
Hey,
bad
let
for your
people do
heart.
what they want. They want to have energy drinks, let them have it.
People who want universal health care, we're going to have to be in this together. If you want universal health care, we're going to have to get healthier as a country. We can't sit around drinking energy drinks. It's so bad for your heart. Water is cheaper. You want to save money.
All right, so let's
drink
start with
water.
let's start with the universal health care. Let's start there, and then we'll work on
can't
getting
afford
people. Sure as hell we could.
The Swedes
We
are
just choose
much
not
healthier
to.
than we are. The Swedes are so healthy.
Then you also have a corporate America problem. You gonna fix that too?
Well, tell McDonald's.
Oh, there
and
you
tell
go.
the people. We need to tell people to stop. You don't need a Red Bull. You don't need Gatorade.
McDonald's has to make money, and we've decided that that's what the entire society is based on.
Well, yeah, because
Corporations making
capitalism
as
is
much money. Well, there you go.
better than everything else that's out there. It's better than socialism, but but
Depending on where you are, some socialist countries are doing okay.
Sweden has socialized healthcare. It has a free market. They very much want people to know that because they get frustrated when they get called a socialist country. But I think we can all do our part. I'm not going to blame. I can say no to things. People can say no to things and save money. Drink water. It's better for you. Flushes the system out and it won't give you a heart attack. I'm very much against energy drinks.
Well, then you take it up with McDonald's.
I'll take it up for the people who buy it because remember what we say.
Why are they doing it though?
If people don't buy it, they won't do it.
Hey, McDonald's has to make money.
They're the last ones to the energy drink group. They're the very last ones. It's because the people are demanding it. We need to get the people to not
And because
demand
of their
it.
profit margins. They told you.
I don't know why we're arguing.
They told you.
I just think we need to drink more
They
water.
literally told you in that
Yeah.
it's because drinks have a higher profit margin.
But think of how far behind they are from Panera. Panera was into it before that.
Well, they're also they're giving away drinks at Panera, basically, with the Sip Club. You ever tried the Sip Club thing? It's like $16 a month.
I stopped because the Panera that I went to had horrible coffee.
Oh, that's interesting.
It was very watery.
It is a great deal, though, and I can't
It's a
believe they do
great
it.
deal if your local Panera has good coffee or tea, whatever you drink.
Did you see that friend of the show, Liv Ciara? Remember we had her on? She is participating in The Voice.
Yeah.
Very energetic young woman. She came in here and she talked about her experience on The Voice. She has advanced to the finale.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Liv Ciara from St. Peter's. So good luck to her there.
That's super exciting.
What if she wins the thing? Then we've got to be her
You
first
think
stop
she's going
when
to
she
big
comes.
time us?
Best not.
If she big times us and we don't get to talk to her anymore.
I'm telling you something. If you're right about this,
I could see how she would not want to talk to you again after
Why?
making it. You're a little antagonistic.
okay. That's Amy Marks Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. Hey, it's tax season, and by tax season, I mean it's tomorrow, dude. So if you haven't done them, you're up against it.
You're a scofflaw.
You could be a scofflaw. And Dave Simons, partner and managing director of One Private Wealth, he can tell us what you need to know leading into tax season. And we got a bunch of other financial stuff to get into with him. We'll talk to Dave when we come back on KMOX.
Hi, this is Steve Butts from the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. In 2026, our agency celebrates a momentous occasion as we celebrate 65 years of service to our clients, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Nor Butts. Our staff is ready to assist you with all your insurance needs. So please call me, Steve Butts, at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com. For auto, home, and commercial insurance needs, that's crawfordbutts.com.
For the last 33 years, you've discovered that at Banner Construction, we pride ourselves on quality craftsmanship. We believe the single most important decision homeowners must make when considering an exterior restoration project is, who do you hire? At Banner, we provide well-engineered, meaningful, long-term solutions to transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Let us help you fall in love with your home all over again. Call 314-569-1050 or visit bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit. Okay, rock star. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Spring is here. Hi, this is Tim Gamma.
And I'm Tom Gamma.
When it comes to tree care, call the name you can trust. Gamma Tree Experts, founded by our dad, Frank Gamma, in 1954.
Frank will be 91 this year, and the third generation of Gammas have joined the business.
Call our team of certified arborists to inspect your trees and shrubs today. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. Now in our 72nd year.
For pruning, fertilization, and removal, call Gamma Tree Experts today or visit us at gammatree.com.
Your trees deserve the best care.
Don't miss the Route 66 Centennial Festival at the Missouri History Museum, April 30th through May 3rd. Bring back memories of the Mother Road's stunning natural scenery and roadside attractions, and explore its complex history and impacts on communities across the region. Featuring a concert by Sweetie and the Toothaches, a classic car show, neon display, food trucks, lectures, kids crafts, and more. All activities are free. Schedule at mohistory.org/festival.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 10 o'clock, we have sunny skies, 78 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. U.S. wholesale prices surged last month as the Iran war drove up the cost of energy. The Labor Department reported today its producer price index, which measures inflation before it hits consumers, rose 0.5% from February and 4% from March of last year. Energy prices surged 8.5% from February. President Trump facing backlash across the political spectrum after posting an AI-generated image depicting him as Jesus. CBS News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi says the controversy is overshadowing Trump's economic policies that he wants to highlight during tax week.
Yesterday, we saw a video of a DoorDash driver going to the Oval Office in a political stunt. The reason why they did that was because they wanted to talk about President Trump's no tax on tips policy. But it was completely overshadowed by this issue with the Pope, the photo that he posted. And that's really what the conversation was yesterday, and less about his tax policy.
A man's been taken into custody in connection with recent swastika vandalisms. 5 cars discovered with the spray-painted symbol Saturday around 10 a.m. in an alley by Benton Park in South City. Fox 2 reports neighborhood residents reported the suspect to police. The investigation is ongoing. An aviation safety bill seeking to address lessons learned from last year's deadly midair collision of a jet and an Army helicopter near Washington, D.C. set for a vote today. The National Transportation Safety Board says the measure addresses its key recommendations to require all aircraft flying around busy airports to have crucial locator systems that let pilots know more precisely where other aircraft are flying. Families of those killed say the measure does not go far enough. From the KMOX business desk, a donut shop in the Grove closing its doors. The announcement came in a Facebook post on Sunday, which read, "Vincent's is closed. It will not reopen. Vincent Van Donut," located at 1072 Tower Grove Avenue. Weather now, sponsored by i3 Broadband.
Times of sun and clouds, breezy, very warm and rather humid this afternoon with a high of 88. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight, a warm breeze, a thunderstorm in some places, the low 71. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, breezy, not as warm, but still humid. A couple of showers and a thunderstorm. Any thunderstorm can produce hail and damaging winds, especially during the afternoon and evening hours. Tomorrow's high 80. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
76 degrees in St. Peter, 78 in Florissant and downtown at the Arch under sunny skies. Spring is here. Time to toss out that dusty treadmill and your laggy cable internet. Upgrade to 100% in-home fiber from i3 Broadband. Plus, they're springing forward with the longest price guarantees ever on gig speed internet services. No data caps, just pure speed. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Chris and Amy show on KMOX. It is hour 2 of 3. We go until 12 o'clock today. Gas House Gang at 12. And we will have Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol today with Bernie Miklasz, Tom Ackerman, and me. And then we'll talk to the assistant GM, Rob Cerfolio, as well. That'll happen at 12:30. So it will be a big Gas House Gang today. And there's plenty to talk about with the Cardinals manager, as we are almost 3 weeks into the regular season. We've also got a young star, maybe budding star, in Jordan Walker, who leads the league in home runs. It's been really fun to watch. We'll talk to Dave Simons here in just a matter of moments. He is the partner and managing director of One Private Wealth. And with tax day tomorrow, it's always good to get some tips from a guy who knows finances. And so we're looking forward to talking to him.
Well, we are, and especially
for those who are the late people.
The late people and the 8% who are thinking about doing tax fraud.
So Dave Simons, generally speaking, and we do have a poll it's the question of the week at Chris Amy KMOX, and you need to go and vote. Have you done your taxes yet? And your options are yes, waiting till last minute, or planning to do tax fraud. Dave, it is generally speaking a bad idea to do tax fraud, yes?
That would be an unequivocal yes.
Yes.
100%. But I saw that recently in the Wall Street Journal, where there is this growing movement that has gone, it's on fire on social media. Yes, we are going to protest what this government is all about, which I get it. That's the American way, all right? Get your signs, go out on the street corner. But there is that old commercial. You don't mess with the IRS. We will come and visit you in jail.
Do they really?
I mean, no, they don't quite. That last line I made up.
They're not bringing you cake.
Well, I feel like they would visit you in jail, like say you still owe us.
Yeah.
Listen, I know you're tied up right now, but you wrote off a printer in 1997, and we don't think you needed that for your business. You owe us $17. I feel like they would do that.
I think a lot of these folks, and I don't know what the average age is when I read through this stuff. If they're using TikTok, it's probably on the younger side. But I think you're a little naive to think that that's going to send a message to Washington and all the politicians. Oh, we've got a lot of people not paying their taxes. Okay, we better listen to them. No, you've got some real problems on your hand that you're going to really regret not paying your taxes. You really don't. I'm being serious about this. This is one agency you don't really trifle with. There are better ways to protest.
Like what?
Well, like I said, the old-fashioned get your signs and go out on the street corner. And I'm not playing political sides, but recently it's the No Kings rallies. And then the other side, we've seen people protest against Democratic administrations. There are other ways to do it. This would be at the bottom of my list, not paying taxes.
Well, I could go protest all day. Still got to pay your taxes.
That's exactly right.
So, Dave, this is and maybe you know this, maybe you don't. And it's difficult. I guess everybody's different. But why does it feel like there's no sense to whether or not you actually owe money at the end of the year, and why you don't have any idea until you plug in all the numbers and then get back a result? And we had a texter who said, I changed one number on as I'm doing my taxes, and I go from having a $4,000 refund to having to pay $3,000, which is a $7,000 swing. And I don't know exactly what the specifics are of what he's talking about, but it seems like you just one little minor change, and there's a massive difference in whether or not you get money or you have to pay money.
That's so funny that you tell that story, Chris, because the same thing just happened to me. The CPA and I had a conversation last week. Okay, Dave, got your taxes done. This is how much you owe. And I thought, wait a minute. I was kind of eyeballing this in my mind's eye, and that seems a little off. So we started to discuss a couple of things. Oh, okay, yeah, we inputted this one number wrong. All of a sudden, I'm getting this nice little refund back. Just because there was one thing that's off. This is such a complex issue. And the CPA industry and the tax industry is so powerful. You almost wonder, are they keeping it this complicated for a reason to keep everyone employed? You could simplify this and say, and I'm not joking about this, where you could literally just file your taxes on the back of an index card and say, this is how much I made. This is the tax bracket I'm in. Here's the check. I mean, why couldn't we do something as simple as that?
Yeah, it's really frustrating, and there are so many jokes about it, how the IRS says you owe us money, and I wish you would, we all wish they would tell us how much, but they said, no, you've got to figure it out, and if you're wrong, you're going to jail.
Mhm.
And it's like this, high stakes game. And I think the thing with taxes, the way I feel, there are certain services, whether it's state or federal, that the government does really well. And so you're okay with paying taxes because you like your roads, you like your police, and so forth. But there are other times, and this can also go city to city and state by state, you feel like your taxes are being wasted and not being spent well. And that's the frustrating thing.
Well, and you're exactly right, Amy, because we all look at this differently. The person next to me might say, "I don't mind my taxes even being raised to give the police a raise or school teachers a raise, but
Mhm.
my goodness, you better not raise my taxes for that project over there."
Mhm.
And the other neighbor will say, "No, no, that's important to me. Those social services." Because I have a child who takes advantage of that and needs that. I don't want my taxes raised there. So all of us are going to look at this and find things that we don't agree with when the government does this. But let me just give everybody a warning. It's coming. Tax rates are going higher in the future. Of that, I have no doubt. Not necessarily for people in the lower tax bracket, but definitely middle income and higher tax brackets because of one main reason. My friends, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid are going belly up eventually, sooner rather than later. The only way out of this mess is to raise taxes. Now, is that income taxes? Is that through extra FICA? Maybe. Is it in other ways to generate revenue? Perhaps, but it's coming. And I do this kind of financial planning all the time for people as we project out into the future when we're doing some kind of tax planning. Hey, get ready. I don't know if it's 3 years, 5 years, 8 years, but we have to develop plans later in life where there's a good chance, even in retirement, and this has really never happened, you could be paying higher taxes because rates are going to have to go up.
Yeah, and I'm with Amy. Like, I don't mind paying taxes because I realize I benefit from, living in a society which you wouldn't have those benefits if you were all on your own. So I'm perfectly good with that. And if we have to raise it at some point, I understand. Just the process should be easier. It should just be. We have a texter who says my TurboTax said I owed $9,000 to Illinois, went to a CPA, and instead it was $40 I was getting back from Illinois. So it's and this texter goes on to say, you owe us money, but we won't tell you how much or how to figure it out. And if you get it wrong, you go to jail, just like Amy said.
Yeah, I've used TurboTax for myself before. I've hired CPAs. I think TurboTax is a great system for a lot of very simple returns.
Mhm.
But a good CPA, man, just like this texter, I owed $9,000, took it to a CPA, and I got a little money back. I have found the same thing. I switched from doing it myself online and went to it cost me some money, but the CPA has been well worth it. So because it is so complicated, I think that I'm a smart guy. I'm not a CPA. That's not my profession, but I know enough where I know where I can write off and not and all that. But there are so many different things about this tax code that there are things that I missed that he said, oh, no, no, You can actually write that off too. Oh, really? Yeah, because it's in the new tax bill that was passed. That's the other thing. Congress is always tinkering with these things, and there are always new tax laws that a lot of times get hidden in other big bills that we don't even know about it. I've actually had to school CPAs who work with some of my clients. So they'll come to me on the financial side, but they have their own CPAs where I'll say, no, no, no. Remember, this was just in the new big, beautiful bill that the client can write that out. Oh, yeah. I mean, it is really complicated.
So where we are right now with the conflict in Iran, I know that we're all monitoring this as it goes on, and how economically we're all being affected by it. We talked about it last week. We talked about it the week before, but where do we stand right now?
Isn't this crazy how, once again, the market is rising today? The Dow, as we speak, is up 250 points. It's within spitting distance of a record high. Same with the S&P 500. If you didn't know that, all you knew were the headlines. This is what's happening in the Middle East. We're now forcing a blockade. I mean, this is real stuff. I don't think I'm overstating it to say this can be scary stuff on the world stage. It could bring us into a global recession. I'm not predicting it, but obviously the odds are rising by the day that this thing lengthens in time. And yet the stock market is like the old Mad Magazine guy, right? What? Me worry? He's just like, hey, market's going higher. And it makes sense. You shouldn't look at the market and say, oh man, the market is not even paying attention. No, it is. It's paying attention to what it always pays attention to: corporate earnings and U.S. economic growth, which is still pretty darn good. And we are now in quarterly earnings season. These banks are reporting earnings that are blowing away estimates. Johnson & Johnson, not a bank, just blew away earnings estimates. Corporate America is actually doing very well. And who knows, Amy, maybe McDonald's will blow it away with their new,
energy drinks.
Energy
the
drinks.
Last
That's
thing
it.
we need.
So that's what all these companies are doing. And the economy, corporate earnings anyway, are very good. And that's what's happening.
Well, and Dave, we talked about this over the past few weeks, months, how this particular president is unpredictable and he says a lot, and how the markets are kind of just floating along right now. And I think you said, it was last week that you said, if this were any other president, it might be different, right?
Yes, right.
Okay, so no, moving forward in the post-Trump era, do the markets now forever react differently to the president because of how they've reacted to this one?
Well, that's a great question. Yeah, the markets had to learn. This is new. You go back to a year ago, so at the beginning of Trump's second term, when he first unveiled his new tariff plan, and the markets took a big dirt dive. I mean, really crashed down. Well, since then, the market has learned, oh, well, he's going to right the ship. He's going to come out and say, okay, I didn't mean that. This is what I really meant. The market's gotten used to that, to now not react to any text really that he says that could be somewhat provocative. They just look right past it. But to your point, going forward, no matter if it's a Republican or Democrat, does the market react the same way? Probably. But I don't know that we're going to be tested like this, because I think this will go down in history, frankly. And again, not taking sides, but I just think this is a president who is so unique in this way that I don't think we're going to see this kind of daily hundreds and hundreds, literally, of text just to try to keep in the news. I think this is a one and done thing.
So today we learned that wholesale inflation is up to 4%. It's the highest rate in 3 years now. And that has a lot to do with the oil prices going up. The producer price index has gone up about 0.5% from February to March. So we're seeing all of these numbers. What does that mean for us?
At this point, nothing, because again, investors, economists, market strategists are all saying that this is a short-term anomaly. This thing in the Middle East and the Strait of Hormuz will be settled sooner rather than later. Again, no prediction. I don't know. Nobody does. I'm just telling you that's how the world sees it right now. However, if it does stay closed for some time and this thing escalates, then the market's going to have to pay attention. Oil prices will probably get to all-time highs, And then, Chris, we'll have to be talking about how that is affecting the consumer. It's already affecting it right now. We're paying higher gas prices. But for the most part, other parts of inflation really non-existent. Virtually all of the increase in inflation has come from one product, a very important one, of course. But food prices, home prices, all of that stuff, technology is even deflationary. That's not been affected. So right now, I don't think it's a huge deal. But if we're still talking about this late spring, it's going to be a big deal. And that could bring us to a recession.
Dave, before we let you go, we want to ask you about your half marathon because you were out there on the streets of St. Louis on Saturday.
Amy, I want to talk about your marathon. I want to talk about you. You're the elite athlete.
We did that
here.
all day yesterday.
Oh, you did?
We
Okay.
just did that. We did that show, Dave.
So
She
funny
lost, by the
story.
way. Did you know?
I did lose. I lost.
I don't consider that losing. Well, so I'm running the half. Of course, Amy's running the full. My full, by the way, is in 3 weeks in Pittsburgh. So I treated the half as kind of an up-tempo training run.
Mm-hmm.
So I go out, I'm running 9-minute pace. That's my goal. Okay, you don't want to kill it, just 9-minute flat. I'm at about mile 7. Here come these two women side by side in the 10th mile, coming back the other way out of Soulard. And I'm like, that looks like Amy Martzcore. Oh my gosh, it is with Julie. Oh, I almost wanted to stop running, race to the finish line, and watch to see who won.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I missed it. But no, the race went well. I met every goal that I had in terms of just a nice up-tempo pace, keeping it right at 9-minute flat. I ended up at 8:58, so I was happy with
Awesome.
it. But the real race, like I said, is in 3 weeks.
Well, good luck on that. I hope your training until then goes well because you're getting
Thank you.
close to taper time, and we'll have to get
Yes.
a report from Pittsburgh.
That's right. Got the 20-mile final run this Saturday, probably at Forest Park, and then it's taper time.
Go get him, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
You
We'll
got
talk
it,
to you next
Dave.
We'll
week.
talk to you before.
Yeah, we'll
but
talk to you before that.
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely. We'll talk next week.
Thanks, Dave. That is
Bye.
Dave Simons, partner and managing director of One Private Wealth. He is the best. Don't forget, we got Tom Hamilton coming up, Ford Frick Award winner. That means he's a broadcast Hall of Famer. Cleveland Guardians are in town. That's his team. So we'll talk to him at 10:30. Charlie Brennan will be on the show
Hey.
at 11 right here on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Inflation is squeezing budgets, and global events can shake markets overnight. If you're close to retirement, you don't get unlimited do-overs. So this is not the time for, I hope it works out. That's why Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group are hosting an upcoming educational seminar called Retirement Simplified, April 14th and 16th at Bartolino's Twin Oaks. You'll learn how rising costs could drain your spending power, how political and economic headlines can impact your returns, dealing with issues like taxes, outliving your money, and long-term care. Find out if your retirement strategy is truly stress tested for today's economy. 636-230-8824 or at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, or registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions. The All Financial Group is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the U.S. government or any other government agency.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
A new game day favorite is coming to Busch Stadium on Saturday, April 25th, when the Cardinals host the Seattle Mariners. That day, fans take home a Victory Blue Cardinals crewneck sweatshirt presented by Purina, a light and easy style that's perfect for spring and designed to fit right into your everyday wardrobe. Available in medium and extra large while supplies last. A limited look you'll want to wear again and again. Tickets and info at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Jose Fermin. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com.
Every Sunday home game is a Kids Sunday at Busch Stadium. From Team Fredbird and games to a kid-friendly DJ, ice cream, and family favorite activities. Sundays are built for young fans. Plus, select Sundays feature kids run the bases after the game. It's a day made for smiles, memories, and Cardinals baseball together. Make Sundays your family tradition at Busch Stadium. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/kidssunday.
Considering buying or selling a home? When it comes to the Gelman team with eXp Realty, numbers don't lie. Over 1,500 Google and Zillow 5-star reviews, nearly 6,000 homes, and $2.5 billion in real estate sold. Call 314-336-1991, thegelmanteam.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
But I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud. What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage. I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
100 years, one legendary voice. We live KMOX's century of service, classic audio, photos, videos, and more at KMOX100.com.
Remember how we used to do a call and crab?
Well, you still do a call and
Well,
crab.
it's been a hot minute.
It's there. It's available to call and crab if you want.
Well, I want to hear from the people. 314-436-7900. You can text or call. I think we are bringing back. I mean, we're going to try to get a call and crab more frequently these days.
Sure.
You know how we talk? I feel like a lot of our call and crabs have been automotive related, right?
Yeah, bad drivers.
Yeah. And I have
usually
noticed.
in Missouri.
Yeah. I've noticed this. You know how when you learned how to drive, they would tell you hands on the steering wheel at 10 and 2.
Right.
10 and 2, 10 and 2. That's the go-to. Now you have said, isn't it technically 9 and 3 is safer?
That is what the professionals say. I think race car drivers do 9 and 3.
I'm trying to think of what I do. It's either 10 and 2 or close to 9 and 3. A lot of times it's one hand, right? You don't always have two hands on the steering wheel.
Well, you're supposed to.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I always have two hands on the steering wheel. Here's what I've noticed, though. 10 and 2, normal person. 11 and 1, worst driver in the world. All bad drivers drive at 11 and 1. You've seen them with their hands almost directly on top of the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Their chin is way too close. Super dangerous way to drive, by the way, because if that airbag goes off,
That's
your
right.
head is coming off.
And that is part of the reason that 9 and 3 is actually safer, because your hands are on the side of the wheel and not so much in front of where the airbag's coming out.
But every time, I have never once ever seen an 11 and 1 driver who was in any way acceptable. No offense, a lot of old ladies are 11 and 1 because they're trying hard.
Yeah.
And they're trying. But first of all, again, 11 and 1, your arms are going to get blown off and your head, because if your chin is on top of the steering wheel, there was a lady the other day, I think her chin was in front of the steering wheel. That's dangerous driving.
The airbag would eject her out the back of the car through the window.
It would. So 11 and 1 is always the worst drivers you've ever seen.
Yes.
So
What about the 12 and 12 drivers? That's even worse than that.
that's when
Both
you know
hands.
you're about the 12 and 12 move.
The
is-
11:55 and 12:05 drivers.
Oh, I thought you meant.
No.
I don't know why I made bottom of the hour, top of the hour. That's when you're going to make a big turn.
That's the 12 and 6.
The 12
You're
and
like,
6.
No, the 12 and 6 is everybody hold on. That's what that is. Hey, when we come back, we're going to have a conversation with one of the great broadcasters in the country. He is so good at baseball. Tom Hamilton also does college football. Tom Hamilton, Cleveland Guardians broadcaster. The Guardians are in town facing the Cardinals tonight. And Tom is also a broadcast Hall of Famer as of last year. We'll talk to him when we come back on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Hey guys, it's Dave from The Glover Show, trying to explain The Glover Show. So when I was a younger man, I used to go to happy hour almost every night, and I loved it. And I've always thought of my show as being like happy hour. It's always interesting. It's often silly, but not always. You know, there are real things to talk about amongst friends, politics, and personal things. So that's what it is, really. It's happy hour for thousands of us every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. And I hope you'll tune in and join the happy hour.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Warm and windy, 80 degrees right now. A high today of 88. Cloudy, breezy, and warm tonight with a thunderstorm. Those could produce flooding downpours and localized damaging wind gusts, so be careful out there. Weather sponsored by the Missouri Book Festival, April 18th in Washington, Missouri. Bring your family and friends out to the Missouri Book Festival on Saturday, April 18th in Washington, Missouri, and you'll enjoy cooking demos, live theater, book talks, storytelling, and more featuring authors from Missouri and beyond. We just talked to Chef Trenton Garvey. He'll be there. Visit MissouriBookFestival.com for details.
Many times, a person hires a law firm after an injury without doing research. It can be a big mistake or not. Sometimes, after you have hired a certain lawyer, you realize you made a certain mistake. But guess what? Just because you hire them doesn't mean you can't fire them. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you think you've hired the wrong firm, you may have. So do this. Google Morgan & Morgan results or visit forthepeople.com for cases just like yours. You may find that our full-service injury firm should have been your choice in the first place. Last year, almost 12,000 people discharged their law firm and hired us after further research. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com today and let's get started. Or call Pound Law on your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
You know, most sellers put their home on the market and they just wait to see what happens. Well, I'm Kevin Wheeler, and I'm here with Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And Gloria, is there a better way to sell?
There is. Instead of listing your home the traditional way and hoping for the right buyer, I can get you up to 8 competitive cash offers right from the start. That means you're not guessing what your home might sell for. You're looking at the real offers and choosing the one that works the best for you. It also helps you to set the right price and create stronger demand if you decide to go to market. It gives you control, leverage, and a clear path forward before you accept just any offer. And remember, I'll guarantee to sell your home at 100% of the market value, or I'll pay you the difference.
Before you sell your home, see what your options are. Call the one that I trust. That's Gloria Liu, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession.
Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies. all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the Gas House Gang from KMOX.
Bernie Nicholas and the Gas House Gang, today at noon on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Swung out and hammered, high, deep to left, away, out of here. Bedlam in Cleveland.
It's the Chris and Amy show on KMOX, and it is time to go to the guest line. And one of my favorites is with us today, broadcaster for the Cleveland Guardians and Ford C. Frick Award winner, which means he's a broadcast Hall of Famer, and he's with us now on KMOX. Tom Hamilton. How's it going, Tom?
Well, good morning, Chris and Amy. Great, thanks. Thanks for having me on, and great to be in St. Louis. And my goodness, kind of weather we've had in Cleveland. This has been a real treat to play in this kind of weather, and always fun to come to this city and play games in that ballpark. And we talked about it with our manager yesterday in the pregame show. The history and tradition that surrounds this franchise is second to none. So it's always special to get here.
You know, speaking of Cleveland, around opening day, it always feels to me, maybe because it happened once, but it always feels like there are snowouts on opening day in Cleveland.
Yeah.
But is it usually touchy about that time of year?
Yeah, it is, and really for the entire month of April. I think the worst we ever had, at least to my recollection, was back in 2007. We were playing the Seattle Mariners in a 4-game series to open up the home portion of the season. We got into the 5th inning of the opener and then got hit with 21 inches of snow that eliminated us even finishing that ball game. And in fact, because the temperature never got above freezing for over a week, we lost that 4-game series and then had to play the Anaheim Angels for 3 games at Milwaukee's, at that time, Coors Field, now American Family Field, or we would have lost a week's worth of baseball.
Yeah.
That has certainly been the worst. We've also had days a couple of years ago where it was in the 70s. So, I mean, when you're right there on the shores of Lake Erie, in April and May, you may get 21 inches and you may get mid-70s, but you can't guarantee either.
You know, as I mentioned at the start of the interview here, last year you won the Ford C. Frick Award, which is for the Broadcast Hall of Fame. Is that the kind of thing that you ever thought about happening, or was it in the back of your mind ever that it could?
Oh, Lord, no. And in fact, to me, it's still surreal, Chris. And, I know how fortunate and how blessed that my wife and I and our family have been to even have a major league job. And, to be able to do it in one city for 37 years has, been such a blessing, because you're able to raise your family in one spot. You're not moving around. And look, these jobs are hard to get. They're harder to keep. And so, yeah, when you talk about the Hall of Fame, it's still a very surreal moment to me. It's still hard for me to even comprehend that I even belong there. And, there's so many worthy broadcasters, and obviously Joe Buck is very deserving and is going in this summer. And I think another Cardinal legend should have been in there a long time ago, and hopefully will be in there soon, and that's John Rooney.
Well, and Tom, of course, there's broadcasting, and then there's baseball broadcasting, where there's so much art and storytelling. When you were younger, were you always focused on the broadcasting side? Were you a kid who just liked to read? How did you gain that mastery of the English language and ability to tell stories?
You know what, Amy, it's a good question. I don't know if I've ever been asked that. And to be honest, I don't know that I've ever thought much about it. I mean, we were dairy farmers when I was a youngster, growing up outside Madison, Wisconsin, and, kind of like so many dairy farmers back in those days in Wisconsin, your parents had a 150-acre farm and they milked 50 head of cows. I was never old enough to partake in the milking, and certainly did a lot of farm chores, that type of thing. And then once Mom and Dad sold the farm and we moved to a little town called Waterloo, would, go out and help friends bale hay at their farms and those kind of things in the summer. But I think my love of broadcasting, came from those early years, listening to Earl Gillespie on a transistor radio on a porch on a summer night when, he was broadcasting the legendary in those days, Hank Aaron and Eddie Matthews and Warren Spahn and Joe Torre and the Milwaukee Braves. And it just seemed like such an incredible existence. And probably like every young kid, you wanted to be one of those guys playing, in Major League Baseball, but certainly wasn't good enough for that to be a reality. So I think, if anything, Amy, that's where the idea or maybe the dream started. And then, you just work your way to hopefully getting there someday.
Talking with Cleveland Guardians broadcaster Tom Hamilton on KMOX. And you mentioned John Rooney, and I feel like we've been very lucky here in St. Louis over the years with, I mean, you know as well as anybody. And it does seem like baseball broadcasters in particular are very familiar with the other legends, the people who are currently in the other cities or, had been Hall of Famers from the past. Why do you think that is? Why do you think the baseball broadcasters seem to really revere the people who came before them?
Boy, that's another great question. I think, look, I just wanted to do play-by-play as I realized that, that was going to be the path that I was going to try to seek, and did play-by-play for years of all the sports, whether it was football, basketball, or baseball. And so I just had a love of doing play-by-play. Baseball seemed like Camelot or the ultimate goal, but when you're young and working your way up the ladder, so to speak, you'll take the play-by-play opportunities anywhere they come. And in fact, I think that was beneficial for me to, advance my career and be able to do multiple sports and not be just pigeonholed as strictly basketball or strictly baseball or whatever it is. I just think baseball in particular on the radio is, such a unique marriage that, hasn't been equaled in the other sports. One, it's the length of the season. It's every day that you're lucky enough to be brought into people's lives. And I also think, especially when you talk about whether it's St. Louis or whether it's Cleveland or Milwaukee in the Midwest, you become more part of them than maybe you do in some of the cities where people are just kind of moving in and out and maybe aren't from that area. You grow up in the Midwest like Cleveland and Wisconsin, you can't wait for winter to be over. So you're not going to be stuck inside the house every night watching a game. And so the radio becomes a great partner as you enjoy the summer months. And I think because of that, baseball has created these personalities, these broadcasters, whether it's Jack Buck or Harry Carey, and look at even Bob Costas, even though he's not from here originally, makes his home here part of the time, and had a chance to catch up with Bob on the Sunday night game in Atlanta. There's just something unique about our sport. And I think in particular with radio, that has still stayed very special that the other sports don't have.
Well, and especially with radio and you're painting that picture, I imagine there's a tension or a balance between preparing some of your calls, but also being in the moment. How do you balance that with the home run or a big hit, knowing when to pull something out of your pocket or go with what you feel in the moment?
I think for me anyway, Amy, I can't speak for other people. I'm not creative enough to start scripting stuff and try to have the moment prepared. I think if you do that, you're just, you're going into your home run call or whatever you've come up with, and it's a line drive to the shortstop, and you sound like an idiot. So I think, that's why you go to the minor leagues, and that's why you do high school games, and that's why you try to hone your craft before you get to this stage. And then you hope like heck that you're lucky enough to say the right thing at the right time. And trust me, there have been plenty of times I've said the wrong thing, at the wrong time. But I just think you have to trust your instincts and hope that spontaneity, comes through at the right time. And I think that's the beauty of our sport. To your point, you can be in the middle of a story and then something out of the blue happens that you never expect. It's just kind of hard. I think you can sense it having done the other sports when big moments are going to potentially happen. I just think baseball is still, the most unpredictable for that. And, like I say, I think I've been lucky more than I've been unlucky.
Talking with Hall of Famer Tom Hamilton here on KMOX, and you've had the opportunity to call 3 World Series, the most recent one coming. This is the 10-year anniversary of that series that went to 7 games. And when you get into a World Series, is your preparation different?
I don't think so. What I have found, Chris and Amy, is that the bigger the game, or in particular, when you get into the playoffs, and talk about lucky, you mentioned the 3 World Series. I think one of the things that Cleveland has had in common, and talked about it last night on our broadcast, since 2000, the St. Louis Cardinals have been in the playoffs 16 times. And in my time with Cleveland, and I started in 90, since 1995, we've been in the playoffs 15 times in a 31-year period. And so, when you're lucky enough to be around October baseball that much, one, you never take it for granted, and you also realize how special it is. And I think those games really take care of themselves. The games that are hard to do are the games in August when you and the other ball club are each 10 to 12 games under 500 and 23 games out of first place, and you're trying to come up with something to make the broadcast worthwhile to listen to. I think the biggest thing you'll learn with experience is that the only thing you can do in the big games is get in the way if you're not careful. And a lot of times less is more when you talk about the big games, because let's face it, the beauty of October baseball is that every pitch is so critically important, and that every series can swing on one pitch. And I actually find, Chris, preparation there is much easier, and that you learn to let the games breathe and let them kind of live on their own, because that's the beauty of October baseball. And I think a perfect example is what we saw last October. I thought last October is one of the best postseasons that the game of baseball has had in a long time. And the drama that took place, it seemed like in every series. We had a short one, the wild card series with Detroit, but there was great moments in that. But when you think of Seattle and Toronto, and then the Dodgers and the Blue Jays World Series, and the great late inning exploits in those games, they pretty much handled themselves.
So, Tom, we are going on 80 years since there's been a World Series win in Cleveland. How do you think the city would handle it if it does happen?
Yeah, that euphoria is obviously one of the words that comes to mind. I've heard a lot of people say if they could just win it once in my lifetime, I'd be happy. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't go quite that far. I'm hoping Cleveland doesn't win the World Series and the good Lord says, okay, your time is up. I know it's such a big deal to win it once. And the thing I am very grateful for is just what we talked about. The fact that pretty much every spring training over most of the last 3 decades, we've gone to camp with a realistic opportunity to play in October. The hardest thing to do in baseball, and I certainly was a part of it in the early 90s, and there have been some other lean years, is when you go to spring training and you're trying to convince your audience that, this is really going to be a riveting summer. And you know darn well that the only thing riveting about it is going to be, are we losing 99 games or 105? And these rebuilding processes where people know for the next 5 years their club is going to be irrelevant, those are the tough ones. And we've been lucky in Cleveland. That hasn't happened even with the payroll restrictions and the revenue limitations that market has. But I think it would be the greatest celebration that Northeast Ohio has seen. As big a deal as it was for LeBron James and the Cavaliers to win when they did, baseball's much more deep-rooted in Cleveland. It's one of those franchises that goes back to the beginning of the American League. And I don't know if some people would really know how to handle it. And we've come so close. I mean, to have the lead in the 9th inning of Game 7 in Miami back in 97, to have the Cubs down 3-1 in 2016. There have been a lot of heartaches, and a lot of times the hearts have been broken with those kind of collapses or moments where they didn't win it. That, I think it would be the ultimate. And, again, I know how fortunate we've been to have winning baseball.
Well, Tom, it's been a pleasure to talk baseball with you. Congratulations again on the Hall of Fame. It's great. I was so happy for you when that happened last year. You're amazing, and we appreciate you coming on the show with us today.
Well, it was great to be with you folks, Chris and Amy, and thanks so much for letting me be a part of it. Like I said, congratulations. Joe Buck has done a phenomenal job. I met Joe when he was 19 years old and finishing his freshman year at Indiana, and I was with the Columbus Clippers, and he is so deserving and calls so many great moments. And again, I'll reiterate, John Rooney is as great a play-by-play voice as we've had in sports. I mean, you talk about a guy that can do it all, and John Rooney deserves to be in Cooperstown as well. So thanks again, Amy and Chris.
Tom Hamilton, Hall of Fame broadcaster with the Cleveland Guardians here in town. Game 2 of 3 is tonight at Busch Stadium, and you can hear it here on 104.1 FM KMOX.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. Stewie, let's talk about refinancings, and let's just bottom line this. Everyone needs money at some point in their life.
You know what, Dave? There's so many different ways you can make money. Number one, go to a lower rate. If you're financed over the last 3 years, chances are you're paying a higher rate than what you can today. Refinance with the Bagel loan, no closing costs at all. That's number one. Number two, a lot of people are concerned not about the cash flow, but overall interest that you're paying. Go from a 30-year to a 20-year. The rates are lower on a 20-year versus a 30-year. Save hundreds of thousands of dollars. And third is the really easy way. You need cash. I need cash. Take cash out. Refinance now. Take the money you need. Keep the payment the same. It's easy. It's simple. All with no closing costs with that Bagel loan.
If you're looking to save money, get a little cash to your pocket, and do it with the right person, give Stewie a call or a text on his personal cell phone, 314-324-4440, or Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS 226715.
Calling all runners. Register now for the Cardinals 5K on Saturday, April 18th, and you can take a victory lap on the field at Busch Stadium. Don't miss this chance to bring the whole family for a fun St. Louis 5K race that brings fans together to support kids in the community. The Cardinals 5K, Saturday, April 18th. Register now at cardinals.com/5K. And for more information, just head to KMOX.com/events.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, DRURY law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
All right, Amy, I got a proposition for you. Do you have $1.99? And how much time would you like to spend with AI Jesus?
What are you talking about?
There is a company, it's a tech company, and it is called Just Like Me. And they have a new concept. It is a platform where you can join a video call with an avatar of Jesus. It is an AI-generated Jesus, and it costs you $1.99 per minute. So, how do you feel about this? Are you interested?
Well, I
Do
mean,
you feel like
my
you would-
honest answer is that it's blasphemous and horrible, and I guess they're targeting people who claim to be Christians but are also not biblically sound.
What if all the money's
also-
going to
and
charity?
then also trolls.
I mean, it's not, but what if all the money's going to charity?
No, I'm not going to commit blasphemy. I'll tell you what. I am trying to channel the more positive side of my personality, which used to be the dominant side until I got into this business, because it's really easy to lose faith in humanity. And
Don't blame it on this business. You could blame it on world events.
I guess it's
'Cause
just
now you're
we're
paying
a little
attention to-
too. We are no. I mean, I always paid attention. I mean,
Well,
my
you're
goodness,
really
I was
diving in there.
I was a homeschooler. My goodness, our mascot was the Constitution, and we went to Jefferson City on different pieces of legislation and spoke as concerned constituents. So I've always paid attention, but I do think we drown ourselves in it now because we have to talk about it. And even if you talk about 10 topics, you've looked at 200 to try to filter down to 10. But I think especially this coming on the heels of the president's memed blasphemy yesterday is, I don't know if there's a massive doctrinal and theological issue in the church these days.
I'll tell you what, that thing yesterday that he did by sharing the AI generated depiction of him as Jesus healing somebody in a bed, and then him trying to explain it away as I thought I was a doctor in the photo. Which, okay, dude.
He lied. He didn't think he was a doctor. He's lying.
Didn't.
Yeah.
Yes, he knew. But it had, I mean, even some allies. I mean, even Darren Bailey, who is very pro Donald Trump and running for governor in Missouri or in Illinois, even he yesterday said, yeah, that's not particularly good. And I'm paraphrasing, but
I've seen the most ardent Trump supporters criticize
which they
this.
should. It's out. I mean, if you are somebody who considers themselves to be a religious person, somebody who considers themselves to be Christian, and you're devout, that should bother you. That's not my life, so I guess I'm not bothered by it personally, in the sense that it doesn't offend me. I think it's laughable, but I would see, and I believe that if you are somebody who's like that, that should bother you in a very major way, and it should tell you something.
Yeah, it's blasphemous. And listen, there's a lot where I've been, mocked for my faith, or the faith has been mocked, and I personally don't get offended. It's not that I'm pearl clutching. It's more that it just makes me sad. It makes me sad, and honestly, I shudder to be Donald Trump right now, because he has a habit of making a mockery of faith and of Christ and Christianity, and that is not a good place to be.
Hey, is Charlie coming up?
You better believe it.
Is he here? Is he in studio?
If he's here, I'm leaving.
Charlie Brennan?
Yeah.
Well,
We had
He's
an agreement
supposed to
after
be.
we broke up the show.
he's been here, though, before.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Our old friend, Charlie Brennan. He's coming back. He's in studio with us next on KMOX.
When was the last time you watched your home movies?
Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for, their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry.
Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos.
We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever.
It's fast, we always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. Magazine are all talking about Legacy Box.
New York Times columnist David Pogue says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/value.
You know, here in St. Louis, word of mouth still matters, and I'm pretty careful about who I recommend, especially when it comes to something as personal as estate planning. I'm Tom Ackerman. My family has been working with the Lederman Law Firm for over 20 years now, and the reason is simple. They don't just create documents and send you on your way. They help make sure your plan works. Because let's be honest, life changes. Family needs and circumstances change. Laws change. But most estate plans don't change over time as needs, circumstances, and laws change. They're outdated, sitting in a drawer. People assume they're fine, and their plan will work when they need it to work. At the Lederman Law Firm, it's not a one-time transaction. It's an ongoing process. They build a plan to protect your family and your assets, and then for a fixed annual fee, they help keep it up to date as both your life and assets change. Check out the Lederman Law Firm at ledermanlaw.com or give them a call at 314-514-9100. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
For 100 years, KMOX has been the voice of St. Louis, informing, entertaining, and connecting our community. Now, relive a century of service at KMOX100.com, a website that allows you to explore classic KMOX audio, rare photos and video, and the legendary voices that shapes St. Louis. Every headline, every heartbreak, every heartbeat lives on at KMOX100.com.
Start your day with an edge.
Total Information AM.
It's like breakfast for your brain. I wake up, I turn on the news.
I gotta listen 3 or 4 times every day.
Debbie Monterey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman.
I like to wake up with the news.
Total Information AM.
It's where I get my news. Traffic conditions and potential weather that's coming.
Total Information AM. Weekdays 5 to 9.
I like to turn it on and just get caught up.
Where I get my news. The news, weather, and traffic.
On the voice of St. Louis, KMOX. The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
11 o'clock, we have sunny skies, 82 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. The Holocaust Memorial Museum holding its annual Days of Remembrance to honor 6 million Jews murdered and millions of other victims of Nazi persecution. Members of Congress on hand today, including Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, who spoke of the atrocities and the importance of remembering the victims.
Today, we recommit to preserving their stories and the stories of countless other innocent victims who suffered the brutality of the Holocaust.
A suspect in custody in connection with Nazi graffiti found this weekend in South City. 5 cars spray painted with a swastika in Benton Park. The investigation ongoing. Former Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey now helping with security during the 2026 FIFA World Cup games in Kansas City.
There are no known threats to the FIFA World Cup games, but we remain vigilant.
Bailey, of course, serving in the Trump administration as co-deputy director of the FBI. He met with Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe to talk about World Cup security preparations.
Remain in that constant posture of vigilance because, as we know, the threat landscape is ever evolving. And so what I'm here to tell you is that Kansas City's ready. The state of Missouri is ready, and certainly federal law enforcement is ready.
Governor Mike Kehoe has signed an executive order that activates the state emergency operations plan during the Kansas City games. From the KMOX business desk.
It's what we have in our hearts, and saying that we're doing something good for the community in terms of cleaning this up around downtown and around America Center.
That's Rob Gatz, Senior Manager of Visitor and Volunteer Services with Explore St. Louis. He's urging residents to use their one good deed of the day, volunteering with the Tourism Trash Force to clean up downtown. The group will be picking up trash downtown at 2 p.m. today. Gatz says the cleanup is an effort to beautify the city before next week's robotics competition. Weather now, sponsored by Artistic Decks.
This afternoon will be breezy, very warm and rather humid with sun and clouds and a high of 88. Partly to mostly cloudy, breezy, warm and humid tonight with a stray thunderstorm low 71. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, breezy and not as warm but still humid. Some showers and thunderstorms around. Those thunderstorms are capable of producing hail and damaging winds, particularly later in the day and early at night. Tomorrow's high 80. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
We have sunny skies this hour, 82 degrees in Florissant and downtown at the Arch, 80 degrees in St. Peters. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
One city, one voice. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. Oh, who is that?
What?
Hello.
I thought
Hey,
we
Charlie
had-
Brennan is here.
Did the restraining order expire?
Wait, who had the restraining order
I don't
against
remember.
who?
Was it you or
I
me?
hope so.
I don't want to get into it, guys. Listen, we're not getting into it. Charlie and I got into a little text tiff, and what happened? Basically, I am going to protest
You
at
were
Donnie
being
Bash.
unreasonable, I'm sure.
I'm organizing a protest at Donnie Bash.
What it was is, Chris, you know as well as I do that she has one of the finest vocabularies you've ever heard. And
All
so
she does is read a dictionary.
yeah, well, that and more. And so she
yeah.
texts emojis, right?
Yeah.
And if you have a beautiful vocabulary, don't text me an
Got
emoji.
mad at me.
I don't blame him.
I sent him a smiley face after some words, and he launched into a Jeremiad against emojis. And I said, "This is it. I've had it enough with you, Chucky B."
Who else would say he launched into a Jeremiad? Maybe Bob Costas.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what you're talking about.
Listen, this is why
But
our
she has
show
a-
didn't work, Charlie.
Didn't work. It was a complete and utter failure. But it's great to see you otherwise. Did I
Is it?
read that well? No, it's good to see you guys. It's been too long. And I really enjoyed your interview with Tom Hamilton. What a pro
He's
he
awesome.
is.
Oh, he's awesome.
And that was so interesting. You know, I grew up in Cleveland, and they have so many funny stories coming out of the Indians. I remember once there was a guy, first baseman, Tony Horton. He struck out, so he crawled back to the dugout. There was George Hendrick, who would only stand in the outfield where there was shade. You know, there was one guy, I forget his name. At the end of the season, he went to a car dealer, take a car, you know, in Cleveland for a test drive. I guess he liked it because he drove it to his home in Los Angeles, and the police enjoyed that. But there are so many stories about when I was a kid there. I'm not kidding. This is true. You would go to the stadium, and there were so few people at Cleveland Municipal Stadium, capacity 81,000, that when there was a foul ball, you could walk to pick it up.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah. And they've had some really good baseball in the last 30 years.
Absolutely.
They've had some really strong teams, dangerous teams.
And you know, downtown Cleveland does have, at least for the time being, the NFL, the NBA, and Major League Baseball. That's
And,
pretty good.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is there.
And the Rock and Roll
Yeah.
Hall of Fame, yeah. And the lakefront, which they improved greatly with a sales or property tax, I forget which, looks as nice as Saugatuck, Michigan. The beaches are beautiful.
So why do people poo-poo Cleveland?
Well, it's an old thing. Johnny Carson made a living doing it. And they did have some funny instances, like when the Cuyahoga River caught fire.
That's a big one.
When Mayor Ralph J. Perk was invited to the White House, but he didn't go because it was his wife's bowling night. You know, things like that.
Really?
True story. Yeah.
That's
so
funny.
Cleveland has its fair share of
And
funny things.
There was an old, not that old, but a Bulls player, Joakim Noah, who, and I forgot why this happened, but was about 10, 15 years ago, and they're asking him about Cleveland. And he's like, what's so great about Cleveland? I never heard anybody say, I want to go to vacation in Cleveland. And that gets played over and over again. It is the butt of a lot of jokes like Detroit used to be, which you don't really hear those anymore.
Not so much, because Detroit's on the rebound with all that money from Dan. Help me with his last name.
Oh, the Caesars little.
No, he's not the pizza dude. The other guy, the discount loan, right?
Oh, I'm not sure.
But there was a guy named Jerry Cheevers who was a pretty good NHL goalie back in the 70s, and then Cleveland had some sort of alternative to the NHL. I think it was called the WHA, maybe World Hockey Association. And he said Cleveland's a great place to make money, but not a good place to spend it. And at that time, it was true. But I took my kids, Beth and I took our kids on vacation there years ago. They loved it. There's lots of things to do. And that lake is really nice.
So is the downtown Cleveland hopping a lot more than St. Louis?
It has its moments. There's no doubt about that. But I was there once in February in line at a coffee shop, and a fella from Ireland actually was there. And he said, where are all the people? By Dublin standards, no. Not a lot of people.
Right.
But it has its moments for sure. And Drury Hotels, based in Chesterfield, has a fantastic hotel in the old school board building. They renovated an old, Cleveland Public Schools Administration building. It's a great hotel within walking distance of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and a lot more. Yeah.
So Charlie is in studio. We were just talking earlier about the cleanup that we did. It was on Friday, and Matt Pajeski, our producer, was there. Went to North St. Louis. And I know this is a mission of yours to clean up the trash here in St. Louis as best as can be done. And there's a good reason for it. It makes a lot of sense, and it does have a significant impact.
I think it does. I was there as well in Old North St. Louis at Crown Candy with Matt and all the folks from Odyssey and Bank of America on Friday. And if you do clean up litter, studies have shown, at least 2 studies I know of, the famous Broken Windows study by George Kelling and James Q. Wilson, Harvard, early 1980s, said that clean up litter, it reduces crime. But then Eugenia South of the University of Pennsylvania almost duplicated it 40 years later, saying that in cleaning up neighborhoods reduces gun violence, decreases depression, it gets more people outdoors, and it also increases educational attainment. And I believe it. Because if your neighborhood looks dirty,
it's depressing.
And it looks like anything goes. You can get away with anything.
We were talking about this back on your show, and I think it was the Normandy school, but one of the schools where they had mold in the locker rooms and the shower heads were falling off and the walls were crumbling in places. And you think, how are kids expected to excel in a school building when the school building is screaming at them, nobody cares about you? Like, that's what it feels like when, and I don't want to, if it wasn't Normandy, if I'm wrong, I'm trying to remember which. It was, yeah. Because it is a big deal. If kids show up to school and no one's caring for the building, why would they feel like it matters?
I agree. And I can recall going into that Normandy school in the theater, for example, and they put a piece of ribbon over every broken seat in the auditorium. And there were, like half the seats had ribbons on them. So you couldn't sit there. One of the great stories that needs more reporting for sure. Yeah. But we're going to clean up Eager Road in Brentwood Friday morning. And if folks want to join us, you can email me, cwbrennan@kmox.com. And everyone gets a ticket to see the Cardinals, thanks to Joe Strom and the St. Louis Cardinals. And the folks from Emerson are going to come on out, about 40 employees from Emerson.
And tonight you'll be talking to the founder of Whole Foods, huh?
Yes. John Mackey, Graham Chapel, 6 p.m., WashU. He started his business in 1978 at the age of 25 in his home, a Victorian home in Austin. And when he sold it to Amazon in 2017, he had 540 stores, 105,000 employees, and $22 billion in revenue. It's a great American success story.
So you're saying it was a success is what I'm pulling from this.
That's one way to describe it. But he's also a crazy guy. I mean, they called him Wacky Mackey because he liked psychedelics and occasionally LSD, but he also liked free markets and free enterprise, rule of law. And
Well, I don't think they're mutually exclusive.
Apparently not.
I love mushrooms and capitalism.
Well, but he is quite interesting. He had, his mother never approved, ever, even on her last week on Earth. And she saw all his success. Like Fortune magazine said, Amazon is taking over America. And he won the National Ernst & Young Award for Entrepreneur of the Year. She always thought that retail was beneath her son.
Okay.
Really? Well, what did she do?
Sit around the house and opine.
I guess. Man.
No, his dad, I think, was a lawyer or something, maybe insurance. I can't remember which.
Okay.
But that's tonight, and the public's invited.
Very good. Free.
Put away your wallet. This one's on us.
Very good. People love free stuff, man. You know that.
I do. And I brought you some free bagels and cream cheese from the good folks at Pratzel's Deli, 72 years young. Can you believe that?
Pratzel's. A good knish.
I haven't had a good knish in too long.
We got to get there. Have you had the knishes from Pratzel's?
I have not had the knish from Pratzel's. I've had a sandwich.
It's really good.
Well, it sounds like next time if I ever get invited back, I can break the restraining order. I'll bring some knishes.
Don't worry.
No, it did sound like I was saying, "Here's what you should have brought." That's not what I meant.
Well, Chris just did it when he said, "I've never had a knish."
Yeah.
Kevin Horrigan, who was my co-host on this show years and years ago, used to say, I guess they don't deliver pizza to downtown St. Louis anymore. And next thing you know,
I love that.
6-7
That's
pizzas.
so good. What a racket that guy had. That's great.
Racket is a good way to describe it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I got to start doing that more. How come there's never a car in the parking lot waiting for me?
I loved it. When you guys were decorating abandoned cars, that was your greatest moment.
Well, and
you should be in the Museum and Television Radio Hall of Fame just for that.
Just for it. And Charlie, I'll tell you something. They ruined it by taking it away.
Yeah.
Well, there are a few others. Like there's the greater St. Louis or the downtown St. Louis citizens complain about one car has racked up, $9,000 worth of tickets?
Yeah. But they have 30 boots.
It was Ryan Kroll with STL Mag, and he did the whole story on
30,000 cars. I don't know. There are more cars than people.
With
I feel
thousands
like.
and thousands of dollars in tickets at
And doesn't Adam Lane, the treasurer, accumulate tickets and then he?
That's right.
He pardons himself.
Yeah, that's right. It just expunges the ticket.
I know.
That's some great power.
Didn't you? Speaking of car crimes.
Great. Yeah. Thank you, Mike Wallace. What's the question? Did you steal your mother's car? And yet we have videos of you doing that.
That's terrible. Didn't you renew your tags, but keep the stickers in the center console to see how long it would take you for you to get pulled over?
Yes, and I did that for about 6 months, and nobody ever pulled me over, and I just decided I'll take these tags off the desk and put them on the car.
Well, guess what, Charlie? I did the same thing on accident. New car, new plates. Driving around 8 months before I finally got something.
Did a uniformed officer of a local municipality pull you over?
I went out and there was a ticket on my car.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
In the city?
What jurisdiction?
Yeah.
It was in Chicago.
Of course.
That's right. He had to go to a different city.
Had to go to a different city to get a
Chicago.
No one here was going to put a ticket on.
That was awesome. Man, it took a minute.
Well, the police here are so busy cracking down on unlicensed video games and gambling games in rest stops, gas stations.
Right.
They haven't got time to look after a small fry like you.
I don't blame
That's
them.
a great story, though. You had to go to Chicago to get and so
they're prolific there with the ticket writing. Like you can go into a place of business and park in a spot. Like I'm going to run in real quick, go grab something, come right back out. And it's maybe one of those do not park here at all areas. But you're like, hey, I'll put the flashers on. I'll go in and your car will be gone. It'll take you 3 minutes. Go inside, you come out, car's gone because they are prolific at ticket writing and towing. They're incredible. And in some areas, they're way better than others.
My kind of city. I'm parked right now in a spot that's marked Becky Damian.
Yes.
She's getting her mail at a separate address now, right?
She is.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I would wish her the best. She was the market manager here, and she's gone on to bigger and better things or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great
Good
lady.
for Becky.
Yep.
She was always very nice to me.
Yeah, she's super nice.
But she couldn't work with you guys, and she said,
I've had it.
I've had it with these knuckleheads.
I mean, as soon
I
as
thought we were a delight.
do you remember when was it you or Chris Myhill? I realize I shouldn't be telling this story.
This is called the grievance hour.
Yeah. All I know is I think the company's worth went down the day they hired me. And then Charlie left. And Chris Myhill left.
Kevin Killeen, Carol Daniel.
They've all left.
Yeah.
And you can point it to one singular day. It was the day that Steve brought me in.
No, I want to just congratulate you on coming in second place on Saturday. I think folks by now know that
Yeah,
Amy
Ron's
Mark
just so
scores.
sick of it.
I know, but
He
you got
said
to
I
No, I
admit,
love it.
Chris.
It's a great accomplishment to lose a race.
Okay.
I did
that is so
lose.
mean. She came in second, and your splits were exactly the same as the winner. That's how long
Yeah.
a race it is. When it's 26 miles, if you finish 18 seconds behind, you have the exact same minute second
Yeah.
finish.
It was all the same. Yeah.
that's
it
pretty
was-
cool.
It was pretty wild.
It's amazing. I don't know if I have ever met a talk show host in America who's in better shape. Okay. Can you think of one, Chris? And anyone who's accomplished more? I mean, except for when Bob Gibson was taking calls here on KMOX.
Yeah, I need to think about that.
Yeah.
It's not typically one of those, it's not a marathon runner kind of business.
It's more of a smoker
or
business.
any sport.
Yeah.
There was a guy named Jay. He was out in New Jersey. He was like a karate champion or something. Jay Diamond, I think his name was. But other than that, I think you might be the greatest athlete who's ever hosted a talk show.
Who's not a pro athlete.
Right. Who's not a pro athlete.
I just think about that.
I don't know.
That's a
They're-
great question. Because it's not. Yeah, it's not.
Well,
a
I think
typical thing.
because
Well, you
didn't-
were a marathon runner first, and then you just you stumbled upon this.
It was a clerical error, and I found myself here.
Yeah.
Because don't radio people and news people historically like smoke and sit there
Yeah.
and angry to the world?
And they eat the free food that comes into the
right.
lobby.
That is so true.
That is right.
Yeah.
You know, I saw something apropos of nothing, really unusual in the news, and you probably are already familiar with it. You've heard of Jaylen Brown, Boston
Yes,
Celtics?
right, yeah.
Do you know that he trains in the offseason with Olympic great Dara Torres, who won 12 medals
Really?
at the Olympics? She's a swimmer.
A swimmer.
She is the swimming coach at Boston College, and she trains him in the pool in the offseason. Isn't that? I've never heard of a basketball player training by swimming.
Neither have I.
I haven't.
They're
I
incredible athletes.
Well, I remember in the 80s when Walter Payton, and I believe he was the first, he would train with ballet dancers.
Lynn Swan did too.
He
would
Yeah.
because he felt like it gave him better balance, and he was one of the greats, obviously. But I mean, I've heard of stuff like that before.
That is so interesting. Well, I would think that if you study ballet, you could do a lot of things on the court very well. Or on
so
the field.
much strength, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie Bash, is it sold out?
It might be. Technically, the deadline for tickets was Friday, but I think if you call Channel 9, you can get a ticket. It's our big live fundraiser Thursday night at the Sheldon, and we always have a lot of fun.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Is Amy going?
No, I'm protesting.
With a sign, you're
Yeah.
going to be outside?
Yeah.
Why are you protesting?
Because you were mean to me on the text thread.
Oh, yes, right.
You forgot already.
I don't blame him.
I
He
launched
would
my
gas-
Jeremiah.
I know he would gaslight me like this on the show.
No, I blocked her.
Dude, I wish. I wish.
I am going to yell
Can't.
from the back of the Sheldon Concert Hall. Charlie's a fraud. He's a fraud.
Reminds me of the movie The Graduate, Dustin Hoffman, last
Yeah.
scene. Did you ever see that?
I have seen it once.
Yeah. He
been a
goes to
while.
the church and his girlfriend's getting married to another guy. So he goes to the back and he starts yelling.
Yeah.
Donnie Bash interrupted by upset former co-host.
I have seen Rachel Zimmerman at Donnie Bash.
That's right.
Yeah.
She's a huge Donnybrook participant now.
Viewer?
And viewer.
Yeah, she
Yep.
watches all the time.
Yeah. She does a great job. She really does. Well, who doesn't? You're all great.
Thanks, Charlie. You're great, too. We love having you here. Thanks for the bagels.
I know. I can't wait to
please
eat a
enjoy
bagel.
the bagels.
I will.
Pretzels on Wydown for 72 years.
Love it.
Great place. Charlie
Okay,
Brennan.
Who's
What-
next?
Let's see. Who is next?
We have a blank space, I think.
Yeah.
I think people were afraid
Ain't
to
that
follow
the
you.
truth? Between the ears. All right. Thank you, St. Louis. You've been great.
Charlie Brennan just buried you. It's 104.1 FM KMOX.
A new game day favorite is coming to Busch Stadium on Saturday, April 25th, when the Cardinals host the Seattle Mariners. That day, fans take home a Victory Blue Cardinals crew neck sweatshirt presented by Purina, a light and easy style that's perfect for spring and designed to fit right into your everyday wardrobe. Available in medium and extra large while supplies last. A limited look you'll want to wear again and again. Tickets and info at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Jose Fermin. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com.
The weekend starts here. Grab your crew and kick it off at Friday Night Live at Busch Stadium. Every Friday night home game, Budweiser Terrace turns into the hottest happy hour in the Lou with $5 beers, $5 hot dogs, $7 margaritas, live music, and more all game long. Meet up with friends, soak in the energy, and keep the night going with baseball under the lights. Good vibes, great deals, your new Friday tradition. Get tickets now at cardinals.com.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Introducing Home Care Plus, a new subscription service from Lowe's that helps make life easier by giving members a hand with home maintenance. Let Lowe's tackle the tasks you keep meaning to do, like electric dryer vent cleaning, replacing hard-to-reach light bulbs, and more. Subscribe to Home Care Plus for just $99 a year and consider your to-do list done. Members get more at Lowe's. Available in select zip codes only. Cancel anytime. Non-refundable fee. Product purchase required. Terms and service restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
It's already April. Maybe you're planning to have some get-togethers, a graduation party, Father's Day cookout, who knows? But is your outdoor space ready? Maybe you never got around to all those improvements you had been planning. Call Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the sign you have the very best. And whether you're looking for a new deck or a patio, a pergola, a sunroom, a screen room, or all of the above and then some, Chesterfield Fence and Deck can make the magic happen because they have 58 years of experience and they have thousands of satisfied customers, and they offer real value because when you spend the money, you get a project that is going to last for years to come. They only ever use the highest quality materials. They have their own installation crews. That's important because those crews have years of experience. If you mention me, Debbie Monterey, they'll offer you 20% off your next outdoor project. Give them a call, stop by, or they'll come to you. It's Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best, chesterfieldfence.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
What did you say to him?
I said, how great is Charlie?
Oh, okay. I thought you had insulted the man.
Of course not. I insulted Matt because Charlie brought us these delicious bagels from Protzels with cream cheese. And I look over and he has cream cheese all over the table in the studio.
I'm making a mess.
Like on the desk area.
I feel like he brought that in just to make a mess.
It worked.
Just so that
give me only bagels with sesame seeds and poppy seeds on top.
Charlie is a bit, you know what he is? He's a bit of a grenade thrower.
That's
his
title.
Yeah,
he's a provocateur.
He's one of those pull the pin, throw the grenade in the room, quietly walk out the door and leave.
Yeah, he is
and then let
master at
people
that.
in the room deal with the consequences.
100%.
I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest.
You love it. You're Captain Chaos.
Yeah, I do enjoy it quite a bit. It's pretty great.
You were laughing the entire time.
Oh, I love when Charlie gets after you.
We had a good time on that show. We laughed a lot. That's why I got so many complaints about my laugh.
Oh, yeah, because it's off-putting.
Yeah. We do have a 636. Now, because Ranj keeps talking about how I lost the marathon, and which I did, I lost. But he said, what about for Chris's Loser Lounge? You can get some T-shirts that say, if you're not first, you're last. Welcome, losers.
You would be
I'm the
wonderful
first loser.
Actually, you could be a charter member. You're the greatest loser.
Here's another one. This guy is full of ideas. He gets it. The first big event for Chris's Loser Lounge is to have all the patrons go to a marathon finish line, and after the first person crosses, boo everyone else that was not in first place.
I have to tell you, how funny would it be to stand at the finish line of a long race? I mean, it could be a full marathon, a half marathon, and every person that runs by, like, the leader already came through.
Not even close.
You already lost.
The winner won an hour ago.
Already came through. Yeah. Keep trying, though.
Mhm.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
This guy gets it. He gets Chris's Loser Lounge.
That's right. I think you can. Anybody is invited to my Loser Lounge.
Except for winners.
By definition.
What if they're better looking, smarter, richer, all of that? I thought that's the whole point of your Loser Lounge. You can't have winners in your Loser Lounge.
Well, there can be good-looking losers. There can be rich losers. Just because you're rich doesn't mean you're not a loser.
No, but I put it all together.
If you have all those
I said
things
if
at
you're
once,
smart, rich, handsome, good-looking, all at once. I mean, you could still be a loser if you're a jerk.
mm-hmm.
But do you want that kind of loser? Or
No.
do you want a regular, real loser?
I'm a real loser. I want the just down on your luck, miserable. That's my clientele.
Because they're like, because
You're finding comfort in
I
other
accidentally
losers.
made it political. I didn't mean to, but like Pete Hegseth's the loser, but that's not the loser that you want, do you?
No, I think that guy just bring the fun down.
Because he doesn't know. I think it needs to be losers who know they're losers.
Although
That's what it is.
He'd be a great patron, though. He'd probably drink the place out of booze. We'd make a lot of money on him.
I think you have to know you're a loser in order to appreciate the Loser Lounge.
That's a great point.
That's
Yeah.
what makes that's what makes you a
That's why
good
you're going
loser.
there.
That's exactly right.
I'm going to the Losers Lounge because I know the Loser Lounge because I know that I am one of them. Yeah, that makes sense.
I like it. That's a likable loser.
Like the Cubs used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody likes that. It's Chris and Amy show on KMOX, and the Gas House Gang is coming up. That is at 12 o'clock. Bernie Miklasz, Tom Ackerman, me, and we will be joined by Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol. That is happening at noon. Rob Cerfolio, the assistant general manager, he'll be with us at 12:30. Great Cardinals discussion coming up at 12 on KMOX.
Start your day with an edge. Total Information AM. It's like breakfast for your brain.
I wake up, I turn on the news.
I gotta listen 3 or 4 times every day.
Debbie Monterey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman.
I like to wake up with the news.
Total Information AM.
It's where I get my news. Traffic conditions and potential weather that's coming.
Total Information AM. Weekdays 5 to 9.
I like to turn it on and just get caught up.
Where I get my news. The news, weather, and traffic.
On the voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
82 degrees right now, but it's humid, so it feels like 93. Windy, breezy, humid, and tonight there could be some thunderstorms with some flooding downpours and localized damaging wind gusts, so be on the lookout for that. A low of 69. Weather sponsored by SNL Coins.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plate. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
The BizDash 5K, presented by Worldwide Technology, is back. Produced by the St. Louis Sports Commission, this high-energy corporate race is St. Louis's healthiest happy hour, combining fitness, fun, and unbeatable team bonding for companies of every size. Runners and walkers of all levels are welcome. It all comes together at Energizer Park Thursday, May 7th in downtown St. Louis, an office party like no other. Create your company team today at stlbizdash.com.
Big refund, big project, big savings at Menard. savings. Turn your tax refund into your next big project. It's easy to create your dream kitchen with Clearview Cabinetry, offering a selection of finishes made with the finest materials. Clearview Cabinetry offers features like soft closed doors and drawers and cabinet accessories to match your unique style. Save big money on Clearview cabinets and check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
I built this business the old-fashioned way. Hard work and a whole lot of spreadsheets.
Yeah, about that, I upgraded us to Odoo. Odoo puts everything we need, sales, inventory, accounting, on one connected platform. No more juggling systems, no more headaches.
So it all works together?
Exactly.
Odoo is the all-in-one business software that makes running and passing on a business easier than ever. Take your business into the next generation. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game. Boom! 42! You're going down, Doug! Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down. Hey! Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it screeching and whining for attention? Trust Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door reliable. Maybe the old weather stripping needs replaced to keep out the cold and hot air. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, trusted here since 1926. For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 and schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Homeowners, a lot of you are worried about one thing when it comes to selling, and that's leaving money on the table. This is Debbie Monterey. I'm with Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria, how do you help sellers make sure they're getting top dollar?
The reality is, most homes don't sell for what they should. I see it happen all the time. They either price it wrong or they don't create enough demand. But with over 2,400 buyers in my buyers in waiting database and my exclusive pricing strategy, I'm able to offer my seller a 100% market value guarantee. And if I can't get you 100% of your home's market value, I'll pay you the difference. So you don't have to wonder if you left money on the table. You can sell with confidence, knowing you maximize your sale.
Make sure you get every dollar for your home. Call St. Louis's real estate expert, Gloria Liu, 314-325-6888, or visit gloriahasthebuyers.com. That's gloriahasthebuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
This is the Gas House Gang from KMOX.
Bernie Nicholas and the Gas House Gang, today at noon on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Chris and Amy on KMOX. As I mentioned before the break, we're rolling toward the Gas House Gang and Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol with us every Tuesday at 12. And he's open. He loves to talk Cardinals baseball, loves to take questions. We try to get in some questions from, viewers who are watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter on the KMOX Sports page. Or if you want to text them in, you can do that too at 314-436-7900. So we'll talk to Ollie at 12 o'clock. Cardinals have baseball tonight, 5:50 pregame show and a 6:45 first pitch here in St. Louis. Michael McGreevy is facing the Cleveland Guardians tonight. Had a great conversation with Tom Hamilton, the Hall of Fame broadcaster for Cleveland. And this will be a fun night of baseball. It's going to be warm. So that is perfect. We went to the game last night. We had our employee appreciation night, and Amy wasn't invited.
I know I didn't. When you show up to work and everyone is talking about last night, it was so nice, employee appreciation night. I'm starting to think that maybe I'm not appreciated.
My understanding is that they did invite people they appreciated. Yes. So last night, we were in a suite. Because, excuse us, we're KMOX.
That's right.
We don't do this seats thing.
We don't do seats.
We don't pay.
Yeah, sorry. We're in a suite. So you have to get into the ballpark by scanning your ticket. Then you have to go to the suite level And then you have to scan it again so that they can verify you're in the right place. They don't just let anybody into the suites.
Oh, of course not. That would be, you can't let the riffraff in.
They have to give you a wristband.
Wow.
So I'm walking in, and there's a gentleman, I believe his name was Forrest. He was really nice. And he was standing right outside the suite. And so he knew it was all KMOX people, or I think some 97.1 folks there too. And he's like, what do you do? What are you doing here? And I'm like, yeah, we're KMOX. He's like, oh yeah, what's your name? And I said, Chris. He's like, Chris who? And I said my last name. He's like, oh yeah, listen to you guys, whatever.
Oh, hey,
and
Forrest.
So he was super nice. Great guy. And then I go in. First person I see is our boss, Steve Moore. Not the AI Steve.
Oh, yeah. This is the real Steve.
This is real Steve.
Obviously, the real Steve goes to the game, and he leaves the AI Steve to do the dirty work.
Of course. Steve was there. Steve's son was there. And so the first thing Steve does is he sees me, and he's like, you, and he starts to give me, he's swearing me out.
What?
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that.
They can't. So he's like, I'm walking in, and the ticket guy outside goes, hey, what are you wearing? He tells me about the same thing. And I was like, oh, yeah, he just did that to me, too. He's like, yeah. And so I tell him, I'm Steve. And he's like, oh, you're Steve?
No way.
Yeah, he's probably talking to him about the boats that he's got.
Steve has like 7 boats now.
Something like
He's
that.
got at least 7 or 8
So you know what
boats,
Steve-
and he's mean to us, and he doesn't like our show.
So the guy outside says,
Yeah.
oh, I listen to that show all the time. You know what Steve tells him? Stop listening to that show. Our boss told a listener to stop listening to us. Stop listening.
He needs a reason to fire us. Steve's
I
gonna
tell
come
you.
on like this. Listen, I need all of you listening right now to stop listening to the Chris and Amy show.
Have you ever had a boss? You ever worked for somebody who routinely says, your girlfriend hasn't dumped you yet? Why not? Oh, he's the best.
Yes, we do. We do love Steve. Yeah, Steve fired me from our editorial meetings when I first started working here with Charlie Brennan.
Uh-huh.
This was before you. This was before COVID, so it was a different time. And when a certain angry right-wing radio host was having his syndicated show,
Rush Limbaugh?
That's right. We could all have a meeting and just, like you have a meeting with the news director and Steve and Beth.
While Rush was railing against curly Q light bulbs.
That's right. And so
We're not going to use old light bulbs.
So we would show up, and I thought I was contributing to the meetings. And I bet we were 3 weeks into our meetings, like once a week for 3 weeks. And they asked me not to come back. Steve said I was distracting and derailing the meeting.
Because you do.
No, I was helping.
No, you're not helping.
And there was another producer.
You
Dave,
go off on what we call tangents. And it's you.
I don't do math.
It is. We are on a path.
Yeah.
And then you break us off on a path that starts maybe kind of similar to what we're talking about. And then you're off in a different direction. And then you have to find your way back to the path.
I was chatting with Matthew DeFranks of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch at the Blues
Covers
game
the Blues,
last night.
yeah.
Yep, he covers the Blues. Follow him. He's great, Matt DeFranks. And I was talking for about, 5-7 minutes when I could see in his eyes that look of all of a sudden he realized, oh, this is what she's like. I think the quirkiness came out. And so then he started laughing.
At you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think he thought I was random. What were we talking about?
I don't know what you're. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh.
This is what a meeting is like
But
when we have
yes,
a show meeting.
So Dave Klein, who used to work here, he
Yes,
was a
Dave
producer.
Klein.
When I got fired from the meetings, like 3 weeks into it, he pulled me aside and he's like, I have been trying for 9 years to get out of these meetings, and you got out of them in 3 weeks.
This is what a texter says at 314-436-7900. Amy, what a great way to get out of meetings. Way to go.
Yep. Well, thank you. All right. I've been delaying because sometimes when we're having a good time on the show, I hate to bring it down with real news.
Well,
and
bring it in.
Substantive content. So I figured we should probably get to this. Otherwise, Matt and Steve will be mad at us. But, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman from St. Louis, but he's also currently orchestrating the end of the world. So probably because of language like that, people are really upset with Sam Altman. And we're seeing a disturbing trend where people are using violence against these controversial, high-profile figures. So a Texas man is accused of attempted murder, and as well as for a premeditated plot to kill Sam Altman, and also some other charges involving destruction of property. And I think he had some explosives in his car. But he threw a Molotov cocktail at Sam Altman's San Francisco home, and then he attacked the San Francisco headquarters of OpenAI, the parent company of ChatGPT. And so he does face attempted murder for that attempted plot to kill Sam Altman, and then also attempted murder for the attempting to kill the security guard who was at Sam Altman's home. And so there's this whole story about this guy. He's a young man, I think 20 years old. And like I said, he had incendiary destructive devices at Altman's house. Those sparked a fire at an exterior gate. So really, really dangerous, I guess, some form of domestic terrorism, although it might not be that exact phrase. And this happened over the weekend, but also in a separate incident, 2 people were arrested on Sunday morning for firing shots at Sam Altman's house. So this is one weekend where your security guard is attacked, someone has explosive devices, they throw a Molotov cocktail at your house, and then 2 other people completely unrelated fire shots at your house. And Ranj, we have discussions, we have debates, and they definitely, in our country, things like AI or politics, or the two, are very emotionally charged and they're very tense. But what you don't want to see is what we saw with the shooting of the United Healthcare CEO, where people think that somehow assassination or bombing or other types of violence are somehow an acceptable or laudable form of protest. It's not. It's a crime. It's a Banana Republic thing where you have high-profile figures, controversial though they may be, constantly in fear of assassination. This is such a bad road to go down. And I do fear that there was a not small contingent of people who either didn't care or somewhat, praised the assassination of the United CEO because they go, oh, well, healthcare, they're screwing people over. I get that it's emotional, but this is such a dangerous road to take and a completely unacceptable road to take.
Well, of course. And it's the same as Charlie Kirk being murdered by somebody who presumably did not agree with him. I mean, you can dislike somebody or hate their opinions and think they're vile, but you don't get to kill them because you're upset with them or you disagree. That's just, it's not the right way to go about it. And I think that most of us, 99.9% of us, agree with that. There is also, though, a growing disdain for the CEO types in this country who have a ton of influence on our lives, on how much things cost, how accessible services are for the average person. And there's a feeling that a lot of corporations, like the healthcare companies, like artificial intelligence companies, are not acting in our best interest, and maybe not even not acting on our best interests, but actively harming people too. And when that is going on, you are creating an environment where somebody who's imbalanced might take action. They might say, I've got to do something here, and this is what I think I should do, which clearly is not the way we need to handle stuff in the country. But I also think we cannot ignore the growing anti-CEO massive corporation sentiment. And much of that sentiment is justified because we're talking about costs all the time. And on a simple day-to-day level, everything is more expensive. Everything is more expensive. And companies do take advantage of us sometimes. Yes, sometimes they have to raise costs because if their costs go up, then they have to be able to stay in business. And I fully understand that. But there are too many times we know they raise prices, sometimes artificially, and then leave them high. And they will blame things like supply chain issues. And after the supply chain issues were resolved post-COVID, prices stayed high because they found out, hey, look at what we're charging for stuff. We could still get away with it. So we're going to keep doing it. And the more people learn about that and realize that some of these massive companies get away with stuff like that, the more it angers them because their lives become tighter and more restricted and harder to live. So yeah, it's going to not force, but it will entice imbalanced people to act out and do stuff like this.
It needs to be soundly and fully condemned and treated as what it is, a crime.
Well, yeah, that's why when they do it, they get caught and they get punished.
Yes, by all sides, because again, there's glorification of Luigi Mangione was not a good thing for our country, and even that type of glorification can, as you said, maybe lower the barrier of entry for other unstable people. And I don't want it to be the riot theory where it takes a high threshold to throw the first brick through a window, but once 2 or 3 bricks have been thrown, that threshold is lowered.
It's like storming the Capitol.
We see that with mass shootings. That's happened where that it's not that there are so many more crazy people out there. It's just that barrier has been lowered. And I also don't necessarily want to say this. It's worse than it's ever been. That's just not true. I mean, the mid 70s, which was the golden age of terrorism or of domestic terrorism, as they say, where you had over 2,000, maybe close to 3,000 bombings in 1971 and 1972 alone, because you had, on this time, it was anti-war groups, it was militant groups, there were these very, very left-wing groups that were committing these acts of violence. So I think that was a worse time. So I think it's that much more important now to condemn it and have it being a completely intolerable step. And then hope that eventually you get, you vote, you put people in office as well who, I mean, honestly, Josh Hawley has been going after insurance companies and big tech. So hopefully more
as long as he follows through in a lot of these. Like
legislators will focus on it.
He promised to follow through on insurance companies who were going to mess around with tornado victims. Follow through, man. Make those promises, but follow through on the promises, of course. Chris and Amy on KMOX. And guess what, NBA fans? If you are a fan of the league, you can now enter FanDuel's Play-In Palooza for a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets every day of the Play-In tournament. All you have to do is place a live bet using your Play-In Palooza token. Then you are automatically going to be entered for a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. So don't just watch the NBA Play-In tournament from the sidelines. Go to FanDuel.com/Missouri and get in on the action for yourself. Don't forget to enter FanDuel's Play-In Palooza for a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Limit 1 entry. Profit Boost bonus is issued as non-withdrawable Profit Boost token. Prizes issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Why would life-saving care require a membership? In a real emergency, are you reaching for your wallet or your phone to call 911? And what if the member helicopter isn't the closest one? What if they don't carry blood on board? What if those differences matter? They do. Arch Air Medical Service is proud to serve Effingham and surrounding communities with life-saving air medical care. Our highly trained crews deliver advanced medicine in the air because when seconds count, capability matters more than a card in your wallet. Plus, we're part of Air Methods, the nation's largest air medical provider. Worried about cost? Here's the truth. The No Surprises Act protects patients with private insurance from unexpected out-of-network air ambulance bills. You'll only pay your in-network copay, coinsurance, or deductible. If you have Medicare or Medicaid, similar protections apply. Providers cannot bill beyond those limits. That means no air medical membership is needed. Learn more at airmethods.com. Copays, coinsurance, and deductibles are set by insurance providers, not Air
methods. Terms and costs may vary. Contact your insurer for details.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Each year in St. Louis, 10 women are recognized for volunteer leadership that changes lives. They support families, strengthen communities, and create opportunities where they're needed most. Join us Tuesday, May 19th at the Ritz-Carlton for the 2026 Women of Achievement Awards Luncheon. Celebrate their impact and be part of a tradition more than 70 years strong. Reservations available at WOASTL.org. For more information, go to KingdomOX.com/events.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Our annual Customer Appreciation Days are back. Save 10 to 20% on your garden and landscape needs on April 24th through 25th. Visit www.chesterfieldvalleynursery.com for more details. KMOX will be live on site Saturday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
So as soon as I leave the studio, are you guys going to chat with Ollie Marmol?
You better believe it.
Yeah.
Oliver Marmol at 12 o'clock every Tuesday on the Gas House Gang.
Got some good questions?
I can't
Gotcha
tell you.
questions?
Well, yeah, I can't. I'm not going to let him think about him.
Can you give me one question?
No, because he might be listening. He might be listening right
Ollie,
now.
if you're listening, tell Heim Bloom I have this idea. It's called Heim
Stop.
to Fly.
I'm not telling him that. Remember when we asked Daniel Descalso if he had any questions for Ollie?
He didn't have
Yesterday,
any.
he didn't have any questions.
Yeah.
He said he'd get back to us. He hasn't. So
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
it makes you wonder.
Just asking questions.
Hey, I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every Tuesday, Oliver Marmol. And we also have Rob Cerfolio coming up. He is the assistant general manager. He'll be with us at 12:30. Lots of Cardinal stuff to get into, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sure that we'll talk about Jordan Walker, who hit his 8th home run last night.
MLB
and so
leading.
It's twice now for him. If I'm not mistaken, it's twice this season already where he's gone 3 games in a row with a home run.
Wow. It's pretty impressive. Hey, that will be a fun conversation. Tomorrow we are chatting with Stuart Thompson of the New York Times. don't let AI do your taxes. I think it's funny we're chatting with him tomorrow because there might be a lot of people going, ooh.
Wait, I already did that.
But don't, for real though, it'll be a good conversation. Stuart Thompson of the New York Times.
We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. And if you missed anything on this show, any of the podcasts or the the podcasts available, any of the interviews, full show, the segments that you want to go back and hear, you can do it on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. But yes, we'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Next, the Gas House Gang on KMOX.
We will come and visit you in jail.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Monday.